Hello, my wonderful spirit guides. Today I am going to be reacting to Joanna Newsom Have One on Me. And I have a feeling it's going to be a pretty long video because it's a pretty long album. All the songs are in one place though on YouTube, which is great, and there's timestamps and everything. And I've got the lyrics up. If it's anything like the Ease, is it Ease? I think everyone was saying it said like Ease. So yeah, if it's anything like the Ease album, then yeah, I'm going to be in for quite a journey. So this might be recorded over a couple days, but because I just want it to be as good as possible without me getting tired and like, you know, losing effort and so on. So yeah, just in general, my videos do take a long time because number one, I have chronic pain. That's just what I live with. So right now, as I'm talking to you, I'm in pain. It doesn't matter what I do, I'm always in pain. I do things like stretches and walks and swimming and meditation, all these things to try and ease that pain. Ease, funny I'm saying that. But it's very but it's here to stay. I don't know how to explain it to you, but I've had it since I was 22 and I'm 28, so it's been 6 years of it, and I've tried everything, including taking, you know, opiates, which didn't end well either. So yeah, I do get in pain, and I can get quite tired because of the pain and so on. So I often feel like I wish I could get videos out so much faster, but obviously not just because of the pain, but I like to look into lyrics. I like to deep dive into it. I'll try and keep it as short as possible, but like not lacking any quality. I'll just, you know, quality over quantity. But mainly I'm here to react to the songs, listen to songs, say what I think and feel about them, and brush over some lyrics that I think pop out to me, which could be a lot, and maybe it might not be any at all. If you're new here, that's a good description of what this might be like. And if you've seen me before, it's still a good description. But yes, if you would like to watch this entirely uncut, then you can go over to Patreon and become a patron. If you would like to follow me on Instagram, that'd be lovely. And biggest thing, like, comment, subscribe. I love reading your comments, and liking it really helps with the engagement. Helps push my video out there, shows YouTube that people are actually watching the video and enjoying it, therefore more people can join the Spirit Guide Club. Oh, before I start, I should probably show off my makeup. Nothing too like extravagant today, but just a nice bit of green. I don't know why, I feel like I just kind of relate these colours to Joanna Newsom. She has a kind of like a earthy fairiness to her. So yeah, that's why I've got this going on, kind of like fairy-like in a way. And just like a kind of nude orangey lip to kind of complement it, I guess. But anyway, enough about me. Oh yeah, enough about me as I wear a t-shirt with my face on it. Yeah, so this was some old merch ideas that I was thinking of. I kind of like tossed that aside because like I want to start merch when I've actually got like, you know, more subscribers, a bit more money, so I can make something really, really good quality. Obviously, this is pretty good quality, but it's a sticker, and like I want to do something very different, if you know what I mean. So, but yeah, I still like to wear it because it's cozy and it's kind of cool. I still think it's cute. It says, "Hello, my wonderful spirit guides," and it's just a crazy picture of me looking like some sort of, I don't even really freaking know, but looking like something. But yeah, let's get on with it. Sounds really different here. Not completely, but by the river, I will give my life. Haven't you seen what I've seen? Very bluesy. Lonely voice is so soft.
My arms wanna carry.
Beautiful notes, kind of theatrical.
How the fog from the port in the bay, hear the frog going courting till the day he croaks. How there is light in the river.
That's so nice.
And there's
that little
river,
what's it?
Made a light.
Little clarinet, flute. I don't know. That's so pretty. It's like a slinky kind of song, you know? You just want to slink around to it.
But one can
The instruments.
or change. How long's it gonna take? Let me love you. How about it? How about that clear night?
The way she could just start like that.
Without you. Easy, easy.
Like this whole song is in that soft high register. Borderline classical.
You must meet me to see me like a bloody Mary. Speak my name and I appear. Sweet, I appear.
Oh, I really love the way that felt. It was such a like gentle but like very intense sound, you know? It was slinky, sexy, dark, bluesy, but the gentleness of all of it though is just kind of like hard to wrap your head around. You know, you imagine her to be like, ah, da, 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 yeah, with the kind of the way the chords were going and like the way the drum would hit sometimes, but then like you'd get instruments that are just so fluttery. They're here, they're there, they come in, they come out, they appear just like out of nowhere, you know, and they don't stay around for long. It is literally being like here or there, which is interesting. I'm going to have a little browse on the about section at first and see what I get from that. Also, sometimes people ask me, but I read all this stuff on Genius, so sometimes it's what other people have just annotated it as, but sometimes there are parts in it of what the artist has actually said in an interview somewhere, so that's why I like reading them as well. Okay, Easy opens Joanna Newsom's huge triple album, Have One On Me. It's well worth looking over Lee Alexander's track-by-track analysis of the album for this song and for all the others of Easy. She writes, oh, okay, so this is someone else's analysis. Let's see if it resonates with me. This is an excellent track with which to begin somewhat of a difficult record. Her soft singing, the breezy sigh of violins, and her images of fog, lit rivers attended by frogs, and words like rest and remain. I am easy to keep, not hard to make happy, claims the female narrator. That bit really stood out to me. That bit really did stand out to me when she was like, I'm easy to keep. It's like she's saying, you know, why don't you just love me? Because I'm not difficult. I'd actually be super easy. And it's kind of sad though, isn't it? Like, you don't want someone to be with you just because you're easy. But she loves this person enough where she's willing to break herself down to just being easy. I just want to take care of you, she says. My arms want to carry, my heart wants to hold you, and honey, you please me even in your sleep is one of the most adoring lyrics on the record. Well, it is, you know, you please me even in your sleep because it's unconditional love. It's not love because of the transactions or anything like that. It's just love. Like, you please me just by being alive. That's what real love is all about. And then it says, but it's in fact quite an aggressive song. Who asked you if you want to be loved by me, she demands. She pleads for a break. How long is it going to take? She wants to know. She notes the frog going courting until the day he croaks, like it's a threat. subtly. She talks of plucking all the petals in a field of flowers till only I may love you, an almost alarming level of determination. Yeah, I liked that little section when she was saying that, because I saw it very vividly, her Pekingese going, and we all did that as kids, like loves me not, and then you go, oh yeah, loves me, you know, you'd like change it up to like fit what your narrative, what you want it to be. And here it's like she's saying, you know, take your time, but at the same time really want you to love me, you know what I mean, sort of thing like that. That's what I feel it's kind of about. And that's interesting. Who asked you if you want to be loved by me? It's almost like she's acknowledging that this person might not want to be loved by her, like that at all. She acknowledges that, but it's hard for her to act on. It's hard for her to stop. It's hard for her to, you know, take that into consideration because of her obsession. Such a beautiful song. I love the way it flowed. I love when she says, I was born to love and I intend to love you as well. Again, with that kind of aggression, you know, I intend to love you. That I was born to, and it's you that I'm going to love. Right, okay. I think that's about it I'm going to do on this one, but I absolutely love the way it sounded and felt. I can't wait to hear it again. But yes, we are going to move on and we're going to listen to Have One on Me, the title track. Second song, title track. All right then. Oh, the music's a little bit more at the forefront here.
And watched it go down. Heard the cup drop. Thought, well, that's why they keep them around. Blackguard sat hard down with no head on him now, and I felt so bad, 'cause I didn't know how to feel bad enough. Proud.
Nice jazz.
Away.
Oh gosh, listen to that.
Legs, how in the world am I to be expected to stay?
And she plays the harp, doesn't she? I'm pretty sure we established that
In the night,
on the last
may hear
reaction.
me call. Steal your resolve, stay where you are. Here's Lola to die to do her famous spider dance for you. Like
Really gives Lola a character.
shake her skirts and scatter their shrieking
Ooh.
six legs. Miss Montesa, Countess Lansfield appealed to Bavaria.
Gosh, the instruments really narrate the story with her.
If you are my friend, Mr. Daddy Longlegs, they are at it again.
Is this a song about spiders?
Poor Lorelei, tarantula, mounting Countess Lansfield's handsome bride. And the old king fell from grace while Lola fled.
Lola.
To save face you caught a fly floating by. Wait for him to drown in the dust of other flies. And the deed is done. You and your friends have treated poor me. Lola,
Oh,
but there is nothing I
it's like I could see like a puppet show, an old-fashioned puppet show.
Well done, that just beat all. Miss Gilbert called to Castlemaine by the silver dollar. Well, I've seen lots, but never in a million years would.
Oh, the sounds are literally just dancing together with the vocals.
With you, I cannot see. When we go out, they're bound to see you. At night, I walk in the park with a whip between called to you several times. Well, the change took place and then arrived, and I died. But all these songs, when you and I are long gone, mud in your eyes.
Wow, she went really distant there.
Tired end, asking you will receive it as said, but through my bouquet and knocked them dead. Helpless as a child when you held me in your arms, and I knew that
Nice.
no love me as you love, but help me, I'm leaving. I remember
So, like,
everything.
fragile.
When you clutched at me that night, I came up. Kindness, you put me straight away in the cupboard with a bottle of champagne, cold as if God himself spat like a cornered rat. I really want you to do this for me. Will you have one
Have
on
one
me?
on me.
We slept knocking heads, sitting up in the stars, smoking and knocking heads like trees. Will you have one on me? You made me fast and extended the land I would drink to. Your excellent health and your cruelty. Will you have
Oh man, so much like
one
bitterness.
on me?
Oh, it's actually utterly heartbreaking. That harmony. Not mine, the one that's already on there. Don't you have one on me? Oh
From the courtyard it floated in, and I
The way it just-
watched it go down.
Crikey.
Heard the cup drop, thought, well, that's
Back to
why
the
they
beginning.
were around.
Oh, that fucking heart.
Blackguards, I didn't know how to feel bad enough. Well, Daddy Longlegs, are you? Daddy Longlegs, are you?
Oh, it's so beautiful. Absolutely fantastic. All of it. Every little bit of it. The slow bits, the big bits, the sing-along bits, the outro, the harp. Ugh. It just, I could see one of those, you know what I mean when I said about the puppet show? It's like an old, with the little curtains on it, and you can see like little wooden horses and wooden knights. You can see that sort of thing going on for sure. Oh, gosh. Well, I want to say what I got from it, and it's really quite hard to understand it on first listen. It just is. Like, the lyrics are very metaphoric. She obviously talks about, like, animals and spiders and stuff. Like, I'll just say, it might be wrong, but what I felt from it is, like, maybe she was talking about a spider, like, this big, you know, is Daddy Longlegs? I don't know. Is it like her ex-lover or something to do with a spider. And then she was talking about Lola as well, like all these different names. I don't even know. But I just want to say, it felt like, in general, I'm not going to go on about what animals are what, but like, it felt like there was someone that is like an ex that she still, you know, loves, but he just like discarded of her. And, you know, she's saying, have one on me, like have a big laugh about it. Go on, have one on me, celebrate for me. Like, it felt sarcastic is what it felt like, and bitter and pained. That's all I can really get from it without looking into anything properly. It's kind of hard to read along the lyrics and catch, you know, and be able to take it all in when there's all the musical aspects and the vocal aspects. That sounds so pretty too. But yeah, I want to have a read here. Have One on Me is about Lola Montez, yes, or Marie Dolores Eliza Rosanna Gilbert, Countess of Lansfield. Okay, an Irish-Spanish dancer. This is probably why I didn't understand it, because I don't even know this person or this history. So, I'm always learning things when I do these videos, and it's really cool. An Irish-Spanish dancer who lived in the 19th century and was King Ludwig I of Bavaria's mistress. That makes a lot of sense. Because there's a bit where she's like, that tarantula's mounted on your back. And when you think of tarantula, you think of it being big and hairy and like scary and obviously more intimidating to like a little spider, you know? Anyway, when the 1848-49 revolutions happened, she fled to California to save face and her career, like Joanna said. She died of syphilis at the age of 39. Oh gosh, how awful. In a 2010 interview with the New York Times, she spoke about the song. So Joanna said, "I'm obviously identifying her story with my story to some extent." Newsom said, "To be a woman and to be a performer at the same time meant something very different than it does now. But I'm also interested in what the similarities are. I was interested in the fact that she was constantly travelling and constantly having to start over and make a new life for herself, and her connection to this town is very important to me." Okay, lovely. So it is a tale about something very real, but relating it to herself in some ways, just feeling like that kind of person that maybe even being a mistress at some point, not maybe to that degree, but maybe felt like a bit of a person on the side, not really a main focus, not in someone's whole heart, which is very sad. So she would try and get away and find, start again, start afresh in these different places. And says it's hard to be a woman and a performer. It does mean a lot. I mean, all the questions like, think about in the 90s, early 2000s, like, oh, you're thinking of having children? What are you going to do with your music when you have children? Are you going to be able to carry on? All these things. It's just like, shut up. But yeah, wow, lovely. I absolutely think that was beautiful. Okay, right. But now we have... Also, actually, I did want to mention, this was actually requested by Clavicle on Patreon. I'm so sorry I didn't mention it before. I think I was just so focused on trying to get all the bits up because I'm listening to it on YouTube. I want to get the lyrics out. It was a whole thing. Nothing that dramatic, but I was like, yeah. So it was requested by Clavicle, which is awesome. And I'm finally getting around to it. It's been a little while, but I'm here now. But thank you so much again for the request. I really appreciate it. And I'm very much enjoying it. Even though we're only 2 songs in, enjoying it very much so. Anyway, next one is called 81.
I found a little plot of land in the garden of Eden. It was dirt and dirt is all the same. 2 hands and I called it my very own. There was no one to dispute my claim. Well, you'd be shocked at the state of things. The whole place had just cleared right out. So I lay me by a spring for a spell as naked as a trout.
So gorgeous.
The wandering eye that I have caught, hard as a wandering sun. But I will want for nothing more. My heart into every heart but one. Me in the garden of Eden. Bring a friend, we are gonna have ourselves a time. It's on me, no sorry, it's my dime. Broke our hearts in the
I'm so cold because I got so much shivers.
St. George and the dragon, both in equal parts, are welcome to come along. I'm inviting everyone.
That's lovely. What a lullaby as well. But I do picture a very beautiful Garden of Eden. Very warm sunshine.
Loves that I have known, even my dear these waters run from the Union in the year of 81.
81, okay.
The unending, nor enough for one life be done. I believe in innocence, little darling. Start again.
So
I
beautiful.
believe in everyone.
So old.
I believe in everyone.
Very beautiful. Emotional. Sorry, it's emotional. It's just the way she sings it and just the sweetness of her heart. I believe in everyone, you know. Oh my gosh, I found a little plot of land in the Garden of Eden. It was dirt, and dirt is all the same. I tiled it with my 2 hands and I called it my very own. There was no one to dispute my claim. It's just, I love that. Just very much like, you know, I made myself a little plot of land, a little cosy space, a little wonderful space for me. And I built it from the ground up. And there was no one to tell me I couldn't. I just got to do that. And that's special. It's a special feeling for her. Well, you'd be shocked at the state of things. The whole place had just cleared right out. It was hotter than hell, so I laid me by a spring for a spell as knackered as a trout. So she's saying like, oh, it was hot trying to, you know, do it all, building all this. And she's like, you know, everyone left in this Garden of Eden, but I was there while I was there building my own little plot. But it was hot as hell, so I went down, had a little sleep by the river. The wandering eye that I have caught is as hot as a wandering sun, but I will want for nothing more in my garden. Start again in my hardening to every heart but one. That's interesting. Like the wandering eye I've caught, I don't know if she means someone's looking at her, like ooh. And she's saying like, it's as hot as a wandering sun. So like, you know, this little person that's maybe taken a fancy to her is kind of good looking. She's saying he's hot. But then she says, but I will want nothing more in my garden, no more than a gaze. You can wonder and we can look at each other, but that's it, because my heart is hard to everyone but one. There is one that she will have a soft heart to, one love. Then she says, meet me in the Garden of Eden, bring a friend. We're going to have ourselves a time. We're going to have a garden party. It's on me. No siree. It's my dime. It's like I go, no, no, no. Don't you even dare try to, like, you know, get involved. This is on me. I'm the hostess with the mostest. And then she says, we broke our hearts in the war between St. George and the dragon. But both in equal parts are welcome to come along. I'm inviting everyone. It's like saying bringing the two sides of the war together, and, you know, even the broken-hearted, you know, even maybe someone that broke her heart, she's trying to find a soft place, a place of, like, compromise and warmth and lovingness to soothe that pain, and there's no fighting here. Then she says, farewell to loves that I have known, even muddiest of waters run. It's like saying water under the bridge, and even the muddiest, even like the hardest relationship she's been in, it's still water under the bridge for her. Her heart is open. She is in a place of forgiveness and enlightenment. Tell me what is meant by sin or none in a garden seceded from the union in the year of AD 1. I guess that kind of goes back to the biblical stuff of like sin biting the apple and whatever. But I'm not quite sure what the line means here. I think maybe it's just saying, what is sin? What is meant by sin? How can you sin in this place? You know, how is there a sin when it's the year of AD 1 where nothing's really happened yet? You can't really, how do you know what a sin is? I don't know, something like that. I don't know. You might have to help me out on that one. The unending amends you've made are enough for one life be done. I believe in innocence, little darling. Start again. I believe in everyone. It's like saying, you've made a lot of amends. You've done enough. You're fine. It's enough. You know, I believe in innocence. I don't believe that you meant to be so cruel. I believe it was just a bad place, and she's just saying, I believe in everyone. I believe everyone can change. Isn't that just so sweet? That's just so delicately meaningful. I'm going to read what it says here as well. In this song, Joanna appears to be doing the hard work of forgiving someone for something and then trying to move on. I have a hunch that it may be herself. I did think that too. I think it could be a bit of everyone. I think it could be herself along with many others that may have wronged her, but mostly herself, And this song may be another ode to her miscarried child, which she sings about in Baby Birch as well, but it could just as easily be about two lovers. The characters in this song are deliberately vague. Yes. Oh no, is there going to be another one about her child? Because I'm thinking I'm going to die. I'm going to. Oh no. Don't even start with me, because I'm going to get I'm already sad on this one. I feel it like the heaviness in my throat. Oh, okay. Anyway, let's do it. Good Intentions, Paving Company is the next song. Okay.
20 miles left to the shore. Hello, my old country, hello. And I have never in my life before been here. And it's my heart, not me, it's concluded.
Oh my gosh, the harmony!
For no good reason at the eastern sky. Strange nation, and the will to remain for the duration.
Yes, girl! Oh, she's got the blues.
Like I'm in a fist fight with a fog, baby. I regret how I said to you, honey, just open your heart when I got trouble even opening a honey jar. It's where we are in double fast or dressing quest.
It's so stunning.
And I will love you till the noise has long since passed. And if it not me, I wrote you down the range, you know there's up to see. Lay down by the good intentions, paving company.
Wow!
The weight of the thing we've been playing at, I can see that you're wearing your staying at. Darling, won't you love me? Sparrow. Well, behind us the road is leaving and falling back like a rope on slack.
Oh my god, I'm addicted to her voice.
And I saw straight away that the lay was steep, but I fell for you, honey, easy as falling asleep. And no amount of talking is gonna soften the fall. Rang so with a song, a old lane. Signed, sealed, delivered, I sang.
Signed, sealed, delivered.
And I'm in love with the hook upon which everyone hangs. And I know you meant to show the extent to which you gave a goddamn. Range real hot and real cold. I am at home on that range. Ooh, hate to fold right here at the top of my game. When I've been trying with my whole heart and soul, but it can make you feel over and old. Lord, you know it's a shame. And hold me till I can't remember my own name.
Here she comes. love that. Doom, 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 doom. Just as like the kind of foundation of that like pacing. You know what I mean? Interesting. Yeah, so this song felt like, so obviously I don't quite know, but it sounds like she's on a drive somewhere with her lover. I don't know. Or the driving is a full-on metaphor. But it sounds like they're on the road, they're going in a direction, right? And she's trying, let me just go through it a little bit and just see if I can work it out from there, because I feel like I've got the gist but not the full idea. 20 miles left to show. Hello, my old country, hello. Stars are just beginning to appear, and I have never in my life been here. Okay, so she might mean that literally, or she might mean that like, I've never been in this situation before, maybe with like a lover or whatever. And it's my heart, not me, who cannot drive. Yes, it's the heart that can't drive. She's saying, I can drive fine, but my heart, when it feels like this, I can't drive where this is going to go. My heart is really taking over. I'm wearing my heart on my sleeve, so to speak. And which conclusion you arrived? Watching me sit here bolt upright and cry for no good reason at the eastern sky. It's like she's crying for no good reason, but it looks like that to someone else, but for her it is for good reason. I am imagining so. And the tilt of this strange nation, and the will to remain for the duration, waving the flag, feeling it drag, trying to wave the white flag, truce, but it's dragging, you know, it's not being seen, no one's picking up on the signs. Like a bump on a log, baby, like I'm in a fist fight with the fog. You know, you can't really fight fog, can you? There's nothing to actually hit. And it just feels, you know, frustrating. It just does seem like a big misunderstanding and a painful one. I get it. I really do. Step, ball change and pirouette. And I regret how I said to you, honey, just open your heart when I've got trouble even opening a jar. You know, she's probably trying to say to him, like, just open your heart. Like, you know, express yourself. Like, be empathetic, be understanding of what my pain is. And then she's like, why am I telling you to do something that's kind of difficult when I can't even open a jar, which is significantly less difficult, but pretty difficult, if you ask me. But actually, no, not if you're hench like me. Don't mean to flex on you. And that right here is where we are. You know, this is where we are. Like, I'm trying to get you to open your heart. And I don't know why I'm saying it, but I just really want that from you because I need to feel that from you. I really relate to this. I'm a very emotional being. And in a relationship, I need people to be, you know, kind of emotional too, I guess. Not overly emotional, but to be able to... How do you explain it? Be vulnerable when needs be and feel me on a deep level when needs be. And I've been fessing double fast, addressing questions nobody asked. I love that. Just fessing up all this stuff. This is how I feel. This is what I think. This is this. But no one asked. She's just going for it. She's on one. I'll get this joy off my chest at last, and I will love you till the noise has long since passed. Oh, that's really cute. It's almost like when she says this joy off my chest, it probably is feeling quite nice to release all this, like, you know, I'm going to get all of this off my chest. And it feels almost nice, like joyful, because it's like, oh, you know, it's a release. Cathartic in some way. And I will love you till the noise is long past, you know, when I'm there rambling, blah, 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 blah. And when that's past, I'm going to still love you, you know, just let me have this moment. And then she says, and I did not mean to shout, just drive, just get us out, dead or alive. A road too long to mention, Lord, it's something to see, laid down by the good intentions, paving good company. I'll have to look at that one. But, I like that. I don't mean to shout, just please drive and get us out, dead or alive. It's like, get us out of this conversation, this argument, this moment of me, you know, just expressing myself and you not expressing anything, you know, and this whole, like, me driving myself into the dirt, into like maybe into a hole even. Obviously, this is all my interpretation. I don't actually know what it's about yet. But, yeah, I want to see what the good intentions paving company is. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. The good faith in which both went into the relationship will not prevent it falling into shambles. Okay, so I guess that's a Bible thing, I guess. All the way to the thing we've been playing at, darling. I can see that you're wearing your staying hat, darling. I love that. I see that you're wearing your staying hat, darling. It's just such a funny way of being, just literally saying, I see that you're not leaving me. I see that. And for the time being, all is well. Won't you love me a spell? It's like a little bit cheeky there, you know, a bit like, all right, all is good, all is good. The argument has kind of come to a close, and I see that you're staying, you're not leaving, you're not abandoning me. And then like the cheek to then ask, won't you love me a little bit though? Just love me for a little bit, and then we can get back into arguing again, but for a moment, can you love me? But then she goes, this is blindness beyond all conceiving, like beyond all the lies and whatever. This is just blindness at like the utmost degree. Like this is chosen blindness, actually. You know what I mean? While behind us, the road is leaving and leaving. I love that. The road is leaving. Ooh, so cool. You're not leaving the road behind, but the road is leaving you. I love that. And falling back like a rope gone slack. Oh, the way that, falling back like a rope gone slack. Oh, that feels so nice to say. Yeah. She's such a lyrical genius, isn't she? I get it. And I saw straight away that the lay was steep, but I fell for you, honey, easy as falling asleep. Oh, that's interesting too, though, because easy as falling asleep could mean two things. Falling asleep could be difficult for some people, and sometimes it's really easy. It's simple. So it could be a double entendre there. And that right here, there is the course I keep. Okay. And then she says, and no amount of talking is going to soften the fall. You know, doesn't matter. We can keep going at it. But at this point, I'm just keeping going just to keep you here. You know what I mean? Because you know at the end of the day, it's going to end. But life after the rain, step out of the overhang, that's all. It had a nice ring to it when the old Opry House rang. So with a solemn old lang, signed, sealed, delivered, I sang. Isn't that, who does that again? Signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. This is surely a reference to Stevie Wonder's hit of the same name. Yeah, okay. He doesn't do that one though, does he? The one that I'm singing. Oh, does he? Oh, God, you'll have to let me know. Sorry. Having a silly moment. But anyway. And there is hesitation, and it always remains, concerning you, me, and the rest of the gang. And in our quiet hour, I feel I see everything, and I'm in love with the hook upon which everything hangs. Ooh. It's just like I'm in love with the danger almost, like the hook and like being hooked, you know. But it's danger, really, because everything's just hanging on a hook, and that hook isn't going to be able to keep collecting things. It's going to break, and she's like, I'm in love with the tension of that. Understandable. It's tale as old as time. It just is. And I know you meant to show the extent to which you gave a goddang. You ranged real hot and real cold, but I'm sold. She's like, you give me everything. You give me hot, you give me cold, and it's crazy, but I'm sold. I'm you know, I'm with you. I love you still. I am home on that range. She is she is home on that range of hot to cold. That is home to her. That is so good. And I do hate to fold right here at the top of my game. When I've been trying with my whole heart and soul to stay right here in the right lane. But it can make you feel over and old. Yeah. When she's been trying to keep it together and not, like, you know, test the patience of him or start an argument, start a fire or whatever you want to call it. But she's saying, you know, it makes you feel a bit old and over when things are going too smoothly, basically. You need a bit of roughness to keep it exciting. Lord, you know it's a shame when I only want you to pull over and hold me till I can't remember my own name. And that bit's just suddenly like super vulnerable. Like, you know, all of this, but it's a shame because that's all I want you to do. It's that inner child that just wants to hold hands with the other person's inner child and stop all the madness and the fighting that just isn't important, really. There's a lot of healing that has to be done for each of them. And she just wants to be held. Yeah, when I'm reading the about section, it's just kind of saying about where the phrase the good intentions paving company comes from. I don't really want to read it all. I've scanned it, but it doesn't It'll just clog up my video. If you want to go look, it's on Genius though. But there's nothing really said about what she said about the song and whatever. But yeah, hopefully my interpretation of it satisfies. Let me know what your interpretation of it is, or if you agree or disagree, just let me know. Anyway, next song, I'm excited to get on with it. It's called No Province. Let's go.
Happy and lived to tell the tale to you. 40 years and woke to find me gone and warm in your arms, in your arms, in your arms. Nothing formed, squatting, lording on a stool in a stall. We spun gold clear out of straw. You burn me like a bond, a burn same and warm in your arms, your arms. I'm afraid of a big return, with nobody remaining to register who had passed. In the middle of the night, negating their grace and their sign. How we had our talk.
Wow.
We told, so that there was no one home and the lights are on. I think you saw their flares and kept me safely unaware. Your arms, the grass was tall and strong with birds. I sashay, which in my mind was my way. You hung. Anyhow, she did not neigh. I do not know what drew our eyes to hers, till I lay down in your arms, a little dog-sized horse, swaying and wheezing as a matter of course. That poor old nag, not 4 pounds wide, had waited a long time. Cold.
Such a simple little drum moment, but just adds so much in a song like this.
No provenance, bearing the whites of her eyes, nodded sadly at her lame sultan, her faultlessly annihilated fish belly face.
I have no idea what's going on in this. Sounds nice.
And pretty tiny apple seed, be a satellite feed. Tell us, who was it that you then loved the most?
Is it another story?
Straight
Like about from history?
down to the farm in your arms.
Nice. Pretty. I don't know what it's about though. It sounded pretty though. It's probably the one that the one on the album that hasn't caught my attention as much as some of the others. Even though the other softer ones or slower ones, this one was still beautiful, but it didn't quite bring me to that, level of, oh my God, this is really outstanding. And it is outstanding, but you know what I mean. I'm not even going to bother explaining myself. But I am going to read what it's about. I don't think I'll go lyric by lyrics. It might take a long time, but let's have a look. No provenance can be seen as the calm before the fall, a quiet moment before beginning of the downfall of the relationship. 3 out of 4 previous songs all portrayed the relationship in a mostly positive light, with the song being the last to do so. Yeah, I guess it did. Like, the relationship was shown in positive lights in some ways, but like with forgiveness, with like understanding of who you are, with like, you know, the water under the bridge, with all these different things, it did make sense, even though some of it's like, oh, we're arguing and whatever, but it's still like this kind of positivity to it. I guess even Have One on Me, even though I said it felt bitter and sarcastic, there was still a bit of like a... oh well, you know what I mean? So not too bad. All portrayed the relationship in a mostly positive light, with the song being the last to do so. Okay. Then it says, though the warning signs do appear, references to devastation, particularly via fire, are placed about the song, indicating that their relationship isn't as safe or healthy as she would like it to be, and that it threatens to go up in flames. Though in her attempts to maintain the bliss of the relationship, she does her best to paint them in a positive light, including the small pale horse. Okay. The pale horse, the symbol of death. Oh, amongst the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Makes itself known, appearing without provenance and drawing her eye for reasons she does not know. The pale horse could either act as a symbol or of the demise of the relationship or the loss of a child in the following song. An event that seemed to be, if not the cause, at least a contributing factor to the demise of the relationship. Oh, okay. And that has 9 upvotes, so someone's obviously written that. But people seem to agree. And so that's what I'm going off of. Someone commented saying this is a diss track about a horse that sucks. Could be about that too. Also, I literally look like a mad scientist right now, or like a crazy art teacher. I'm fine with both. But anyway, let's do it then. Let's move on to Time to Get Tough, because we're going to listen to Baby Birch and I'm a bit scared. Let's do it.
This is the song for baby birds. They'll never know you.
It actually sounds like a lullaby, the way she sang that, by the way.
What we've done, there is the knowledge of you. Well, I wish we could take every path, adorn you, hated to close the door on you. The stars so far away in their bulletproof cars. All the dark, dark water and the engine leaks. How about them engine brakes? And if I die before I wait on baby birds, because I hate to see her make the same mistake. Was dark, I called, and you came. It was dark, I saw shapes. When the sea storms, I feel in your hand.
That is really amazing. Almost sounds like Chinese a little bit. Whew. Well, what a beautiful song, and very wrapped in lots of metaphors again. It is mainly the feeling, her voice, the way it sounded like a lullaby, and it was just so gentle, and it was just almost like a lullaby to her lost child, you know? The About section literally just says, this incredibly sad song from Have One On Me appears to be dedicated to Joanna Newsom's lost infant. Referred to by Slate's Jonah Wiener as a 9.5-minute ache. The song's subject was almost certainly a miscarried child or perhaps an aborted pregnancy. That's kind of what I did feel from it. I didn't want to say because I wasn't sure, but there was something about it that felt like an abortion. Anyway, it says here, what is clear is that the mother is grieving for the loss of her precious child. Yeah, I know she did lose a child. I know she did, but there was some of it, like when the whole bunny bit about skinning it, and then, you know, she was saying, be free, you know, sort of something about that, like getting rid of it. I know it sounds like a bit maybe gruesome, but actually it's not at all. There's a lot of pain in there. And she even says, like, this bit, we take a walk along the dirty lake, hear the goose cussing at me over her eggs. You poor little cousin, I don't want your dregs. A little baby fussing over my legs. It's like she's saying, I don't want a baby. I don't want a little baby fussing over my legs, especially not your babies. But I don't want any baby doing that. You know, it's almost, but then say if it's miscarriage, it could be like a hardened sort of response, a bit more of like a, I don't want that anyway. Do I really want that? I think it's probably for the best anyway. It's probably for the best, you know, kind of brushing it off. Yeah, and then when she says your eyes are green, your hair is gold, your hair is black, your eyes are blue, it's almost like, she could be, number one, talking about two babies there. One could be an aborted one could be a miscarried one. I'm not saying she's had an abortion. Like, I'm really not just going around saying that, all right? But I'm just saying it does sound like it a little bit. And she could be describing two babies, or she could be describing what they could have looked like with her looks, with the green and gold hair, and then with maybe the father's look, black hair and blue eyes. She already talked about a spider, you know, in the song, what was it called? Have One On Me, I think it was. But she talked about the spiders and it being like daddy long legs and that being black and everything like that. So maybe it's the same man? I don't know. It says here, Joanna is considering the possibilities of her onboard child's physical attributes. There's a reference here to the Robert Frost poem, Nothing Gold Can Stay, which reads, nature's first green is gold, her hardest hue to hold, her early leaves a flower, but only so an hour, then leaf subsides to leaf, so Eden sank to grief, so dawn goes down to day, nothing gold can stay. Just as in the poem, Newsom's unborn child, both green and gold, could not stay. By referencing black and blue, Newsom conjures the image of bruises, perhaps to reference her emotional state as a result of the unfulfilled pregnancy. It is also worth noting that Newsom has distinctive gold hair and green eyes. Well, that's what I thought as well. And there's lots of bits in there that feels like she's talking to her child and the afterlife, talking about how she's going to see her again and it's going to be beautiful and it'll be kind of surprising too, to some degree. You know, and she's talking to her as if she's known her for a very long time, when in actuality, she never has actually got to know her, but she talks as if she has, when she says, it's been a long, long time. How are you? Okay, anyway, I think I'm going to move on to the next song because I'm going to get too emotional over this one. I can feel it brewing. Okay, anyway, next song is called On a Good Day. Let's go.
Hey, 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 the end is near. Good day, you can see the end from here. I will stay for the remainder. And I called it mine. On a good day, you can feel my love for you. Will you leave me be so that we can stay true? I've chosen.
Oh, that's so cute, little short one. Yeah, so okay, hey, 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 the end is near. On a good day, you can see the end from here. And that's interesting because it's like, obviously on a good day, when you think of it weather-wise, if there's not a cloud in the sky, you could see lots of things at a distance. But she's obviously talking about the relationship. It's interesting that she says on a good day, you can see the end from here. I guess maybe when it's good, the end is more of a threat, it's more scary. And when it's bad, you don't really care about it ending so much. But when it's good, it's very, hard if a relationship, sorry, if we're talking about a relationship. She says, but I won't turn back now, though the way is clear, I will stay for the remainder. Again, about that staying. I will stay until it ends. I'm not going to go while it's clear. I'm not going to go while it's good. She says, I saw a life and I called it mine. I saw it drawn so sweet and fine, and I had begun to fill in all the lines, right down to what we'd name her. Is she talking about her baby? Is that what she's talking about? This sort of life she saw of her loved one, her, relationship, before it horribly fell apart. Oh, don't do this to me. Don't do this to my poor heart. Our nature does not change by will. In the winter, round the ruined mill, the creek is lying flat and still. It is water, though it's frozen. She's just saying, it's still water. It may be frozen, but it doesn't mean ice is still water at the end of the day. And our nature, who we are, does not change by will either. It's who we are. It says here, this line speaks to the difficulty of changing one's own established patterns and negative behaviours in a relationship. They are likened to nature, immutable. Continuing this metaphor, winter comes to this relationship, signalling endings of frigid relations. The narrator is perhaps stating that the problems in their relationship were unavoidable, like the changing of the seasons. Yes. Very nice and very sad. And then this bit, so cross the years and miles and through, on a good day, you could feel my love for you. You'll leave me be so that we could stay true to the path that you have chosen. This bit, just in general, hits me because, I'm not doing this. On a good day, you can feel my love for you. For me in particular, having a lot of depression and so on like that, it's hard to be very loving and feel love in any way when it's a very dark day. But those good days, you just hope and pray that people can feel your love, and you really try and show that. And then will you leave me be so that we can stay true? And it's like, while I'm in this is how I'm taking it, while we're in this good place, can you leave me? And I can pretend, that it's in this happy place forever. You leave me, I can't leave you. There's too much, intention behind it. You leave me and I can just pretend that we're still good and true, and you can have the path that you've chosen. You can do what you want, but you have to leave me, and let me be in my own little world, even though that's not how it works, but still, it's kind of a beautiful feeling and thought to have. But who knows, it could be something about something completely different, but it could be that she doesn't like him anymore, saying on a good day you could feel my love for you, but maybe sometimes she doesn't feel the love as much. Heavy stuff, emotional stuff. She's so good at it. Why is she so good at making me cry? I have been just very emotional recently though, I can't lie. Just since, if you don't know, I was addicted to opiate medication for chronic pain, like I said at the very start. and for 2.5 years, and now like I feel so much now. There was a stage with the depression where I felt nothing, and now it's all coming into feeling everything, and it's a lot. It's a lot. So this is beating me up left, right, and centre. But it is very beautiful. It really is beautiful. Okay, right, now we have You and Me, Bess. Okay, You and Me, Bess. She starts nearly all of her songs with a vocal. She's here to tell you it is a very big part of this, the vocal, because it's about storytelling.
We picked our way, watching the waves dragging out of our reach.
As she sings higher, it feels like it's going. You can see the ocean, you know, pull away. Damn.
Trying not to catch the cold eye of the ghost. Hope Mother Nature has not overheard. She doles out herd like a puking bird.
She does.
La 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 stayed for the winter. No one told us about the laws of the land. With your hunger, you on the other hand. When we were found, I know we both grieved. My heart made the sand, the snow falling from me.
Oh.
He was as thick as thieves, so I swore nonetheless was only me. So they took me away. Star in my case must have made up their mind. You realized I was dying. I believe you were not lying. La 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 la
So fun to sing along with those little bits, even if I get it a bit wrong.
My ears cocked up like a gun, like every day, of course, yeah.
Of course.
But tell me, what have I done? Seems I have stolen a horse and a slip to the gallows. Who do you think you are?
Oh, that sounds so good.
Gutters that lines the boulevard. As I hang, it's all the same. Kindness comes over me. What was your name?
Nah.
I'm glad that you came forever.
Oh, pretty. Again, not entirely sure what it's all about. I feel like, it's more of a story one again, where it's about something. But it sounds like two best friends did something, like they stayed on a plot of land that wasn't theirs, like a private plot of land, when they were told to leave. Until, and it feels like it was set very long ago. They got found out, but she took the blame because she loved her best friend so much. And then she kind of got hung, like a public hanging sort of situation. I kind of get the story from there, but I'm not entirely sure. It says here, the 8th track from Joanna and Newsom's album, Have One of Me, tells the story of highwayman Dick Turpin and his horse Black Bess. Oh, so Bess was his... So the horse bit, when it got to the horse bit, actually the horse was the friend. That is Bess. Okay. The subject of William Harrison Ainsworth's novel Rookwood. Okay. So yeah, it is about a story. I won't look too much into it just because obviously I haven't read the book. I won't know everything about it, but I did really enjoy it. So that was one that I couldn't really understand like all the lyrics to. However, I still really, really enjoyed the sound. I still felt like it was, some of those bits where she goes, da, 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 and then she goes, what does she do? She goes, I know, well, I can't remember what it is, but it's like a little bluesy rundown. But no, it's so cool. I love that. Okay, I'm going to do one more and then I'm going to pick it up tomorrow. Because then I would have done 9 and then I'll have 9 to go. So I think that works out pretty nicely. I've been filming already for nearly 2 hours. So yeah, I think it's time to call it a day at that point. Anyway, let's do it. The next song is called In California. She's not starting with a vocal this time. That's new. I don't mind her doing it. I just pointed it out. And then as soon as I point it out, she doesn't do it.
My heart became a drunken run on the day.
Ooh, that sounds good.
I thought the wonder and the sorrow I have seen since I left my home, where the darkness does fall so fast it feels like some kind.
Oh, I love that lyric.
Mistake, just like they told you it would, just like they told you would.
Oh my gosh. Ooh.
Me the dry rod, the burnt pile, or the bark beam, or the dry well.
Sounds so ominous.
Who is a little older? When I broke my bone, he carried me up from the riverside to spend my life in spitting distance of the love that I had.
Wow, what a lyric.
I must stay here, and if you come and see me, you will upset the order, for I set myself apart. And see me.
But when you come and see me.
California, you cross the border of my heart, content to see my garden grow so sweet and full of someone else's flowers. Sometimes I can only
That's so good. Oh gosh, it reminds me of like late Lana Del Rey's latest album.
like a little clock that trembles.
But obviously this came first.
Edge of the hour, only ever calling out cuckoo. Called you, little one, in a bad way. Did you love me? Do you spite me? If I can be well, watching, no longer afraid of anything. Say the life that here awaits. I don't belong to anyone. My heart is heavy as an oil drum, and I have torn my soul apart from rolling on to silver commands. Some nights I just never go to sleep at all. Understand, bracing like the bow upon a ship at fully bent.
My God, I absolutely love this one.
Sometimes I can almost feel the power, and I do.
This is stunning.
Love you, a dark hour.
The lyrics are unbelievable.
Never charming a I wear you down. Gotta think straight, keep a clean plate. If I lose my head, just where am I going to lay?
Yeah.
For me to be hanging around,
Oh,
blooming out of the big brown.
wow.
I don't want a hedgerow. My roots on the earth as rich as rose. And in California.
Ooh, that might be a favourite. It's up there. It's really up there. That might be a favourite. I can't explain what that done to me, but it's a favourite. I understood all the lyrics, the sounds of her voice, the way she moved it, and those bluesy little riffs she does. Absolutely fantastic. And I felt the lyrics weren't only like good at storytelling, but some of the lyrics really just hit hard. They were really specific lines that were just like, what, you thought of that? That's incredible. Damn. I'm going to take these off for a minute as I read through it a bit. Oh my God, feel free. Honestly, they're great headphones, but they are kind of bulky. And I just need to be free. But oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm going to go to the start and just pick out the lines I liked. Won't go for everyone because obviously it's quite a lot. But I love how she says, even in the first, verse, all of the wonder and sorrow I have seen since I left my home. It's like she's saying, oh my gosh, all the things that are great and bad that I've seen since I left where I'm from, obviously since moving to California, I guess. And she says, my home on the old Milk Lake, where the darkness does fall so fast, it seems like some kind of mistake. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. It's almost like the darkness does fall quite quickly. It becomes night quite quickly and it feels like it shouldn't. However, it could also be like the darkness does fall, like a lot of dark memories, dark trauma there. It falls then. It almost feels like, what the hell, this must be a mistake. There can't be this much. It is so out of balance. Sort of thing like that. I also love this one. Like, when I broke my bone, he carried me up from the riverside. To spend my life in spitting distance of the love that I have known. That's interesting to me, like without adding it to the story or whatever. Spending your life in spitting distance is actually a saying. But if you think about it, it's kind of not a nice saying because like spit isn't very nice and spitting at someone isn't very nice. So there's something a little bit bitter about it. It's kind of like, I live in spitting distance with the love that I have known. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of... There's anger there, and that's probably why she left her home, to get away from that person she loves. And then she says, and if you come see me, you will upset the order. You cannot come and see me, for I set myself apart. But when you come see me in California, you cross the border of my heart, being like, you know, you're crossing the line there, and you're gonna hurt me if you come here. I don't want to see you. I've done this on purpose. I've moved away because we don't work together, and I don't want you, you know, getting into crossing my boundaries. I don't want you crossing my boundaries. And then content to see my garden grow so sweet and full of someone else's flowers. Does that kind of mean like someone else's achievement? She's quite happy to watch her garden grow, watching other people's achievements and them getting praise for it. She's happy to do that because there's something in her that's a little cowardly, to be able to go and achieve her own flowers, something like that. I don't know. And then sometimes I can almost feel the power. Sometimes I am so in love with you, like a little clock that trembles on the edge of the hour, only ever calling out cuckoo, cuckoo. And that's interesting because it's like I almost feel the power to be in love with you. The love might not be there because of insecurity and whatever, cowardice, whatever. But, you know, sometimes you could feel the power to feel in love, but it trembles on the edge of the hour, like trembles, and it calls up cuckoo. And in a weird way, when you think of the word cuckoo, you think of being crazy, like cuckoo, cuckoo, crazy. You know what I mean? It's like only ever calling out crazy, and maybe it could mean something like that. I'm not entirely sure. While clicking on it, someone has written here, cuckoo is both a sound made upon stirring the hour of the clock and an adjective / noun meaning crazy. Yes, yeah, I did think so. I'm glad that someone else thought so too. And then in the outro, she says, my heart, I wear you down, I know. Gotta think straight, keep a clean plate. Keep from wearing down. If I lose my head, just where am I going to lay it? You know, if I lose my head, where am I going to put it? So it's a little bit funny there. And she's like, I got to keep my head. I can't go cuckoo over here. I've got to, you know, keep it on, actually. So staying here in California, that's going to help that, you know, staying away. I might feel lonely. And, you know, she talks about loneliness. I might feel lonely, but I'm not going to think of anything. I'll think of anything but home, is what she was saying. And, you know, if I lose my head, just where am I going to lay it? She then says, for it has half ruined me to be hanging around here among the daphne blooming out of the big brown. I am native to it, but I am overgrown. I have choked my roots on the earth as rich as roe here down in California. Wow. She has choked her roots. She has literally just rid herself of her roots, her hometown, where she used to live. You know, she is overgrown and now she's stuck there in California. She will not go back. She has forced that place, her home, out of her mind and soul. And she doesn't want anyone to come to her. She wants it to be invisible. You know, she wants it to be a ghost. But wow. I freaking love that song so much. So good. Okay, right. Well, so I've been recording for 2 hours and 4 minutes. Of course, there's going to be some little edits, but it's not going to be a lot of edits, honestly. On the Patreon version anyway. On YouTube, of course, just, you know, there will be edits. There will be edits. What can I tell you? Like, it just is that way. And if you don't like it, then get out of here. Or just become a patron. You know what I mean? But I will try to keep the best parts in. And obviously I'll keep all my talking parts in. But yes, anyway, we'll carry on tomorrow. Well, for you, carry on in literally 1 second. Whew. Okay, so I'm back. And we are now on Jackrabbits. Yes, we're on Jackrabbits. And obviously I have a new makeup look. So I thought I'd show it off. It's a little bit of like a darker version of yesterday's makeup, I'd say. But yeah, kind of like got some weird little branchy bits going on and some heavy eyeliner and a red lip. So yeah, quite different to yesterday, but still with the green theme. But yeah, anyway, let's get into it. We are now at we're now on Jackrabbits. All righty, Aphrodite, let's go.
I was tired of being drunk. My face cracked like a joke. So I swung through here like a brace of jackrabbits with their necks all broke. And I scrabbled at your chest like a mute with my fists of ham, trying to tell you that But you can take my hand in the darkness, darling, like the length of rope. The day after she died, when I saw my heart, and I'll tell you, darling, it was open wide. Telling you
Super melancholy sounding, this one. I mean, they all are in some way, but this is... it really is melancholy, you know?
love you again, and it can have no bounds, you know. It can have no end. You can take my hand in the darkness, darling, when you need a friend, but never change in size. Well, the water, it ran deep, my darling, where it don't run wide.
Wow.
A poultice made of fig, the eager little vultures peck. And Matthew spoke to me, said there's a flame that moves like a low-down pest, and says you will be free.
Wow.
Tell me that I can love you again, love you again, love you again.
Kind of reminds me of Led Zeppelin here. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but...
Love you again, love
yeah.
you again,
It's like Stairway to Heaven a little bit.
love you.
Oof. Wow. Beautiful. It kind of, to me, sounds like she's talking to her partner and saying after, you know, they lost the baby, obviously it would have been difficult, but she has a feeling that she could love them again in a weird way. I don't know, maybe not, but it kind of sounds like that. I'm going to go to the about section and just see what is said. Oh, it says here, after the termination of her pregnancy, baby Birch, the decision to take time away from her lover on a good day, the shame and guilt she feels at the failure of both her relationship and her pregnancy. You and me, Bess. Oh, so that had like... so some people think that the you and me, Bess had something to do with the pregnancy as well. Interesting. I didn't really pick up on that, did I? But anyway, her attempt to get strong and healthy on her own in California. The singer finally breaks down and returns to her lover, asking for him to take her back to give her another chance to love him again. However, there are many hints that this attempt to begin anew in this relationship will only lead to more pain, perhaps even death. The threat of death and deceit is confirmed in the following song, Go Long, okay, where the grisly legend of Bluebeard is used as a metaphor for her relationship to this man. Okay, interesting. So they do very much tie together in great storytelling fashion. But yeah, so interesting, because when you think of California, she's literally there going, don't you dare come here, because it will break me. It'll cross the boundaries of my heart, the borders of my heart, sorry. You know, and then she's like caved a little bit, not caved, or maybe just time has passed where she feels like she could love them again. But obviously that could be dangerous. It's almost like she to be able to say that she can love him again, she has forgotten a little bit of the toxicity. However, she's not forgotten so much that she doesn't realise the risk it would be. Hope that made sense. But yeah, I'm going to move on. Let's go to Go Long. Beautiful song though, very melancholy, but romantic at the same time. When she said the love you again bits, they felt very romantic and peaceful, but all the other bits sounded very, very sorrowful. Yeah, okay, anyway, Go Long. All right, let's do it, Go Long.
Last night again, you were in my dream. You were a prince spinning rim. All sentiments, Indian given and half baked, made of the many bodies of beautiful women, swaying on an elephant, a princess of India. We both want the very same thing. We are praying I am the one to save you. Run away from home, your beard is still blue with loneliness, with your jaws and fists,
that reverb,
and guitars and pens. But I've never been to the fire pits. Who made you this way? Who made you this way? Who is going to bury your beautiful children? Think you can just stop when you're ready for a change? You burn and then they come to prove your
oh my god.
Go long since birth. You have done harm, others have done worse. Will you leave it loose? You are badly hurt. You're a silly goose. Do you know why my ankles are bound in gauze? Sickly dressage in the middle of the wood.
The way that harp is just plucking away is insane. Oh, I love how it goes high as she goes high.
But you keep humming along the wall, and a bright chord always trembling, wolf spider crouching.
Spider again.
I knew you once, now I know you less. When you leave me alone in this old palace of yours, I take to walking. What a woman does is open doors. I have never seen such a terrible room, filled with the cruelties of the women who love you, and who are died like pie by any other name. A chase through with the loneliness of you, my demon. You're never in while so far away. In the heat of the west, there's a man who only will speak in code, backing slowly, slowly, laughing and letting go.
It's so gentle, but it just feels like there's quite a lot of intense emotion behind it. The way it's, the way she's plucking, it's very like, it's fast in the sense that it has like an urgency. It has like a feeling of like pain and like feelings, like just emotion. So beautiful. That one was like, again, melancholy, but just, oh my god, oh my god. I don't even know what to tell you. I don't. It's just so beautiful and meaningful. She really, really isn't afraid to go there emotionally, In fact, she writes from that exact emotion. It doesn't even feel like a memory of an emotion. It feels like she's writing from it right in the moment, and it'll always be so prominent every time she sings it. She feels all of it. I don't know. It's just very special. Yeah, fuck. Right, I know that it was saying something about Bluebeard and that thing, it being a story, a legend or something, so I might read the about section about that. Yeah, okay, anyway. The song directly references the tale of Bluebeard, a folkloric story about a wealthy man who marries a beautiful young woman, lavishing her with jewels and gold while warning her repeatedly never to open one of the doors in his large castle. And it's interesting, like the bit where she said the room was terrible, filled with the gold teeth of all the women who have loved you. It's like this greed that this person has. He inevitably kills them, but not on, maybe not for real. I don't know. Maybe he does for real, but like even metaphorically, he breaks their hearts. But like, and then he takes their gold teeth. He takes, you know, things for greed, and as he would take them for greed. You know what I mean? Maybe he had too many women and treat them all badly, and it's all about greed. And just having the gold teeth at the end of it just shows the greed even further. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. Also, I look actually so silly right now, but we're just going to pretend I look good. Inevitably, the young bride is overcome with curiosity and opens the door to find a large room filled with the corpses of other women. Yeah, exactly what I thought. Whether it be metaphorical or real, but yeah, I guess it's real in this story. Bluebeard catches his wife and tells her that these are bodies of his past brides and that she is now to join them in their fate. She pleads with him to allow her to at least prepare herself for her death and say her last prayers. Bluebeard allows her this, and she instead runs to the top of the tower of the castle to cry for help. She returns to Bluebeard, and just as he is about to kill her, knights who heard her cry burst into the castle and save her. Oh, well, that's nice. Like, it's actually got a nicer ending there, you know. Not nice for the other women, but still, she got free. In the book Women Who Run with the Wolves, Jungian psychologist Clarissa Pinkola Estes writes about the story as an archetype that symbolises the moment when women caught in abusive relationships become aware that they are in a grave danger, finally find their will to live, and find the courage to get out of the relationship. However, she says the moment when the woman is no longer ignorant of her situation is also the moment when she is in most danger. Of course. Absolutely. Bluebeard's message is, for consciousness, you die. Yeah. Well, it is true. Like, becoming aware makes you not so susceptible to manipulation and violence and so on like that. It gets more dangerous because the abuser will find stronger ways or worse ways to keep them in their power, you know? Under their power, sort of thing. But yeah, for consciousness, you die. For being conscious of it all, you have to die. It only works when you are without knowledge of my abuse and so on. It is clear that in this song, the singer's lover takes on the role predatory of Bluebeard, exerting his power and taking advantage of the singer's perceived naivety. She, however, is just starting to get wise to her situation. Well, if that's the case, and this person she was with isn't a very good person, I certainly hope that the story doesn't bring her back to him. And this is more of a, or maybe she did go back to him and then started to realise, or I'm not sure, but if it relates to her in her personal life is what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't know. I just really hope it wasn't that bad, but it could very well have been. But abuse comes in many different forms. It doesn't always have to be physical and whatever. It could be mental. As everyone knows that anyway, mental and emotional. Wow, that's why it had such a pain sound to it, you know? I would go for every lyric, but of course, you know, it would take a while. Just wanted to say, when I was editing it for YouTube, I obviously have to go through the song in a very fine-tuned kind of way. So I was listening very, very deeply to the lyrics, and it was just like I was hearing it all over again for the first time, but understanding it like so much more. And all the lyrics were just so, so, so fantastic. And I hope that I've kept some that I really like in the edit for YouTube. Obviously, it's quite hard to cut it. You don't really cut anything. And of course, she sings long sentences, so I have to cut in the middle of a sentence sometimes. But there were just moments that I was like, that is beautiful. And one of them being like, what a woman is good at is opening doors. I know, I can't remember what it said, but like something like that. And I was like, I don't know why, it just really felt like something. And then talking about his loneliness and about him, will he have children who will take care of him? And I don't know, just all these things and how it ties into her life and her relationship with the person she talks about in this album. You know what I mean? Just some of it hit even deeper, even though it felt so deep on first listen, as you could tell. I felt it again, doubly deep. So yeah, I just wanted to express that with you. And I'm filming this on top of a 2-hour video I've already filmed, which will be part of this video. So it's going to be certainly the longest one I've probably ever done, I imagine. But yeah, anyway, I feel like I got the message anyway. Next one is called Occident. I think that's how you say it, but I'm not entirely sure. I guess you'll say it at some point. But let's do it.
Mercy me, the night is long. Take my pen to write you this song.
How?
Harder to carry on. All my life I felt as though inside a beautiful memory, long life. Show your face, slow heart, curb your taste. What in the world are we waiting for? Building glowing cities along the shore. Ladders and baiting McKin like a matador. So much value placed upon what lies just beyond our plans to the end of the sand.
That drum really teases an upbeat moment. Not upbeat, but like a release. It just comes in at the start and then, backs off.
Something is moving just out of frame. Brace and aim. Reaching slowly across the sea. Mast flash like the stinger of a bee. It's gonna take you from me. The universe is getting loose. Spread from some lead in this
Ooh.
rushing unhinged towards like a headless caboose. I'll wait for you alongside the ocean. Then long light, will you let me in? And then slow heart, are you gonna know him? Long light, speak your name.
Is this the release?
I'll wait while I decry
No more teasing.
the weight. May I relate? Slow heart, congregate.
That piano.
And your family for some distortion of property can't go, but you may stay here with me.
Beautiful again. That one, interestingly, like, for some reason, like, the drums are really capturing me, because the way that they would start, boom, boom, dun, boom, dun, boom, boom, And then in that last little bit, like dun dun dun, like it really like filled out. It was so purposeful, and I was wondering if it would do that the whole time. I was like, the way it is, collapsing or backing away, it feels like it's gonna fill up later on, just when I'm thinking of like songwriting. That's how I saw it, and it did it, and I was like, that's actually really interesting that they, that she chose that. And I wonder if it correlates with the story or the lyrics anyway. I have to admit, I couldn't follow the lyrics too well, especially because I was listening to so much of the other stuff. Of course, like sometimes I sing along and whatever, but it doesn't mean I'm ingesting every lyric. Some of it doesn't make too much sense to me. But I do feel very curious about the song. So I might have a little skim through myself now and see what I can get out of it. Yeah, even after reading it, it's really hard to understand. Like a lot of it, she's talking to Long Life. I guess Long Life is the thing she is writing the song for. It sounds like she's saying it in a weird way, like, what will the future hold? Like, what is there? Long life, show your face. Long life, show me what I have in store. Will it change? Will it get better? What will happen? It also feels like she's in a place where she's young and she doesn't quite know what she's doing, like what she should be doing with her life in some weird way. Like, long life, show your face, slow heart, curb your taste. That's interesting. Like, curb your taste, like change your taste in lovers, you know what I mean? Smoke me out of my hiding place, long life, state your case. It's like she's saying, smoke me out of my hiding place, being like she's maybe a bit shy, like a bit of a homebody, you know what I mean? And she's saying, smoke me out, like bring me out to show me what life is all about. But I don't want to do it unless I know what this long life it has in store for me. Is it worth it? In some weird way. I don't know. She literally says, what in the world are we waiting for? Building glowing cities along the shore, where the wind batters and baiting my kin like a matador. That's interesting. She's like, so she's talking about the world in general here and being like, we're building cities along the shores of, beaches. Is she upset about that? That there are buildings on these natural wonders such as beaches and stuff, and then she says so much value are placed upon what lies just beyond our plans, waving my handkerchief running along to the end of the sand. So much value placed upon what lies just beyond our plans. So our plan is our plan, but what comes after that, success or failure, she's saying there's so much value placed on that success or failure in some way, maybe. And then waving my handkerchief, it's almost like saying, like waving that white flag, or maybe saying goodbye, waving the handkerchief, running along to the end of the sand. It's almost like she's chasing something, saying goodbye. She's saying goodbye to something, waving her handkerchief, or maybe saying hello to something and showing her that she's showing the world she's here. I'm here. I don't really know though. I don't know. Long life, speak a name, so tired of the guessing game. But something is moving just out of frame, slow heart, brace and aim. That's interesting, something is moving just out of frame, like something is happening. There is a forward motion, but it's just out of frame. I can't quite capture what it is I'm meant to be moving towards or whatever. Slow heart, brace and aim. Brace yourself and then aim for that thing that looks kind of fleeting and go for it with your whole heart sort of thing. I don't know. Okay, I'm not going to go too much into every lyric, so I'm going to read the about section now because this is quite a tricky one. Anyway, this song is about the mercilessness of the Western world and how intolerant it is towards dreamers. Occident refers to the West as well as building glowing cities. It is about one who lives in a dream, soft and unmoved, when suddenly her world is shattered by the leaving of one integral to her life. She tends towards a safe life, but yet would want to experience the ups and downs. She is very passionate towards the person leaving because he's the only way for her to feel passion. That's why she clings on to him as her last resort. Okay, yeah, so kind of what we were saying in another song about that kind of liking the ups and downs. But because it's so painful, she's trying to live in the safe life as well, but the safe life can be limiting. So that makes a lot of sense. And what I was saying just now with it kind of mixes in. She's still kind of thinking like, what does the future behold for me? Will I stay in this safe place, or will I be pulled out and thrown into like more ups and downs and so on like that? Who knows? But yeah, beautiful song. Absolutely beautiful. Again, they're all beautiful. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's kind of hard. I don't like every time one finishes, I'm like, well, that was beautiful. That was amazing. That sounded gorgeous. Do you know what I mean? It's just that way. Right, I'm sorting the hair out because it looked so ridiculous just now with the headphones on. I know you guys don't really care, but I've got to look at myself in this viewfinder and I don't fucking like what I see, so. Because like yesterday, yeah, I looked like a crazy art teacher, but it's even worse today. I look like a cone head, like almost like a bald head on the top. And then crazy art teacher on the sides. As I say, I'd rather it be crazy art teacher than bold with a bit of crazy. That's a bit better, isn't it? A bit more nuts. Like me. Okay, now we have Soft as Chalk.
So long ago, when time was just a line that she fed me.
She's so good at doing that bluesy sound. I know I keep saying it, but makes me happy.
No time now. I've got all the time in the world.
So cool.
Say, honey, did you belong to me? Was your heart at rest? And darling, all the morning does. The song of love, oh God, are full of lawlessness, lawlessness.
That's cool.
Say, honey, I passed your test. I lay as still as death until the dawn, whereupon I rested from your lawlessness. I'll roam around the tidy ground of my devil's sanitary.
This one's got a little something, hasn't it?
Your heart marking the soonest dark summer, us a song of love, never done, lawlessness, lawlessness, over and over,
Wow.
up and down, lay round to sleep like a soldier without rest. But there is no treason where there is only lawlessness, lawlessness.
Yeah. Oh, so much character.
Last week, the last year, I was aware when he roused me in the night and left me cowering with my light calling out, who is there? Who is there?
Oh my gosh, that's so good.
I watch you sleep, repeating love, a little shove, and it becomes terror. And now I am calling in sadness beyond anger and beyond fear. Ooh.
She's so good at that. Ooh. Oh, that's cool. Hey, rock and roll, baby.
Glaring on like the character God, very
The character God.
Knew a little bit, but no, you were it, and all now it is long gone. In the state line or two, I'll be thinking of you. Yes, I'll be thinking and be wishing you. waiting for the sun to go down. I have to catch a cab and my bags are at the carousel. Oh, just in time, alone will only take
Yes, piano. Nice little rock and roll-y sound as well. Bluesy, bit of rock and roll in there. That's so cool. I really like sonically that was so good. Again, didn't quite follow the lyrics. I was really caught up on just the vocal and the way it sounded and the music. I think with a lot of these songs from Joanna and Newsom in general, the lyrics are genuinely quite difficult to understand straight away. But once you know what they mean, or you've got an idea of what they mean, they become such a prominent picture. And they make so much sense. So it's quite fun to look into them after. But musically, I just loved it. That kind of ragtag vibe, it's just so good. And she sang it so well. She sang it so well, of course. But I want to have a little look at the About section. It's fitting that Soft as Chalk should be the first song on the last disc of the album, the beginning of the end, as it's a song where the primary relationship that the album analyses starts to crumble. In sharp contrast to On a Good Day, which takes a nostalgic, slightly mournful look at a failed relationship, this song takes an unforgiving look at a possibly violent lover. Oh, maybe I'll have a little skim through then. It's in this song that she recognises the unhealthy nature of her love, though she has not yet come to recognise her contribution there. Oh, interesting. Oh, so I wonder why it had a bit more of like a sound with like, it was a bit more upbeat. Sounds so weird because it's not upbeat, It's not like this big like upbeat song, but it just had a little bit more, I don't know, maybe aggression to it. Maybe there was a bit of anger in there as well, to what she's saying. I'll have a little skim. Well, okay, so she says, so long ago and so far away when time was just a line that you fed me when you wanted to stay. That's interesting. Time was just a line that you fed me. Wow. So first of all, I was seeing that literally, like a line, like a string being fed down her throat, like kind of aggressively. But of course, she's saying it like it's a line, like a sentence, like a thing you would say. Time was just a line that you fed me, It was some bullshit. It was a lie. Time was a lie that you told me, basically. Interesting. And then she said, we talk as soft as chalk till morning came pale as a pearl. Oh, so soft as chalk, because chalk is actually soft, yeah. It isn't a contradictory statement. It's fitting. And then she said pale as pearl, another sort of soft thing, but more of a visual thing, but it's still soft. That's interesting. And then she says, no time, now I have got all the time in the world. Interesting. So it's almost like she's saying we talk so much and it'd be soft and it would be gentle. I feel like time was just passing by us without any knowledge because we were so wrapped up in each other's company. And now she's also saying, now I've got all the time in the world. And that sounds like she's saying now she completely notices time and she's got so much of it. It doesn't pass by anymore. It's actually kind of long. So, okay, this sounds kind of positive right now, right? Say, honey, did you belong to me? Tell me, honey, was your heart at rest? When, darling, all the morning doves were howling us, a song of love's god-awful lawlessness. That's interesting because doves are very much, what's it called? I can't think of the word. I know there's the word for it, but like doves, let's just say doves do symbolise love. That's what I'll say. Love doves and whatever. It says, darling, all the morning doves were howling us, like the morning ones, like the ones that, not morning is in the morning, but she could be using it as a double meaning, like in the morning and mourning as in sad, grieving. They were howling us a song of love's god-awful lawlessness. That's interesting. A song of love's god-awful lawlessness. Like it wasn't a sweet love song. It was a love song that had no law to it. Like there was no rhyme or reason or like... It's toxic. at the end of the day, like a toxic love song sort of thing. I don't know. But she then says, say, honey, did you belong to me? Tell me, honey, did I pass your test? I lay as still as death until the dawn, whereupon I rested from your god-awful lawlessness. Ooh, okay. Like, she's saying, did you belong to me, or did I only belong to you? It's almost like she's saying, did you ever belong to me, though? Or is it just always I was something that belonged to you? You know, were you ever mine? Or was I, like, it's just this big confusion. Like, you should know that when you're with someone, but she's clearly, she doesn't know. And then, did I pass your test? I lay as still as death until dawn. That's interesting, like, she is frozen. You know what I mean? There's something there where she'd been told to sit still, you know, or be still, or don't be too expressive, don't be too this, like, just lay still. Or as something maybe quite horrible might have been happening to her, and she laid there. Because she says, whereupon I rested from your god-awful lawlessness. Basically saying, like, the person's lawlessness, the kind of crimes they're doing to her. I don't know, let's click that. It says here she positions herself as a dedicated and faithful one in a relationship, doing whatever her love asks of her. In contrast, he betrays her. In fact, these lines imply that he is using her dedication to make betraying her easier. Okay, and maybe this could also go, maybe he's cheating on her, you know? I lay as still as death, you know, and maybe he was out cheating on her, and he was pushing the boundaries, seeing what he can get away with. I don't know, but it doesn't sound good, does it? It says here, I feel you leaning out back with the crickets. I love the way she said that as well, that whole bit. I don't know why, it flowed so good. Anyway, I feel you leaning out back with the crickets, loyal heart marking the soonness, darkness. She talks about darkness so much. In every single song there is darkness. And she uses that word very much like it's a huge character in her life. The darkness is like an entity. Marking the soonness, darkness. Tonight still the morning doves will summon us their song of love's never dunning lawlessness. Never dunning. I love that. Meaning, obviously, never ending, whatever, never being done. But yeah, she's still saying these doves will sing their song. They'll sing their song all the time, but it's just, it ain't sweet. This is interesting. While over and over, rear up, stand down, lay round, trying to sound out or guess the reasons. Oh, I sleep like a soldier without rest. But there is no treason where there is only lawlessness. Ooh, that's such a, like, deep one, I feel. You know, it feels like she's saying she's sleeping, but she's incredibly tense. She's literally saying, I sleep like a soldier without rest. And it's like, oh God, that's just too much already. Because sleeping like a soldier in general, they'd be hypervigilant. But one without rest, it's like she is feeling exhausted, but she's still just like, it shows that she may have done this night after night, you know, terrified in a way of this man, really. She's trying to understand the reasons of why it's happening to her too. Like, why all these demands that I have to do, and to not get hurt by you. It's just, it's very sad. In the last week of the last year, I was aware. I took a blind shot across a creek at the Black Bear. I'm thinking the Black Bear might be the man. When he roused me in the night and left me cowering with my light, calling out, who is there, who is there, who is there? I watched you sleep, repeating my prayer. You give love a little shove and it becomes terror. And now I am calling in a sadness beyond anger and beyond fear. Who is there, who's there, who's there? Oh, that didn't hit me like it did. You know, that didn't hit me when I was listening as much as it does now reading. You know, where I've actually got the mindset to take it all in. It's like she was aware of what was happening, and she took a blind shot. She took like a moment to maybe escape, or to ask why, or to maybe push him back, something. But when he roused and realised what was going on, he was left cowering, you know, terrified, and she's calling out, who is there? She knows who is there, it's him, but he became a monster, and that's not the person she knows. That's not the person she wants to know. And she watched him sleep, repeating her prayer. Maybe she was praying to get out of this, praying that he would stop, you know. You give love a little shove and it becomes terror. Like love just gets a little push and then it becomes this other thing. How love and terror can be so bound together in these types of relationships. And I'm calling in a sadness beyond anger and beyond fear. I'm not angry, I'm not scared. I am so fucking sad that this is happening. Who is there? Who is there? Who is there? Maybe this time she's saying, who is there who can help me? Who is there? Who is there to help me? You know, so sad. And in the outro, I glare and nod like the character God. I love that, like the character God. It really minimalizes God. You know what I mean? He's just a character in this long tale called life, you know? But anyway, she says she glares and nods. It's almost like a very, there's a power behind it, you know? Bearing down upon the houses and lawns. I knew a little bit, but darling, you were it. And darling, now it's long gone. Sweetheart, in your clean, bright start, back there behind a hill and a dell, and a state line or two, I'll be thinking of you. She's thinking of him from afar, where she's safe. Yes, I'll be thinking and wishing you well. We land, I stand, but I wait for the sound of the bell. I have to catch a cab and my bags are at the carousel. And then, Lord, just then, time alone will only tell. You morning dove. My God. I'm going to click that little last bit. It felt really powerful. It says here, this line is intended to demonstrate the ability of time and distance to dull the ache of pain. She fled terrified, but by journey's end she's thinking fondly of the man again. She wishes him well and seems to be making excuses for what he's done to her. The implied abuse she suffered at his hands. Here, with time alone will only tell, she resigns herself to further violence by living in the hope that he can change. This line is an echo of the line from In California, Time Will Tell If I Can Be Well. Yes. It also seems to reinforce another line from that song. Is it only timing that has made it such a dark hour? Only ever chiming out cuckoo, cuckoo. Yeah. I spoke about those lines. Tough. Oh my gosh, it's just, I really understand it. Like, oh my gosh. And anyone who's ever had to go through this, like, you know, there are people that understand exactly why, you know, it works out this way. The amount of people that go back to their other halves after trying to get away, even if it's like the worst case scenario and they do like the worst thing to you, the matters of the heart are very complicated at times, and these monsters have a good way of showing you the deepest love of all love, but also the deepest terror of all terror. And if you've grown up with that, knowing that to be love, then it's even harder. But yeah, interesting. Okay, but anyway, let's do it. Next song is called Esme.
there's a pond with the rain coming down. Blackberry, rosemary, Jimmy Cracker. Now that you're running around and make kindness, kindness, kindness abound.
There's a little bit of like a country feeling to it. Very slightly. Warm in that way.
Hour of effortless plenty. How do we know which parts of our heart
that heart.
want what? Taking so many photographs, so many.
It's like Snow White.
Seen a baby so newly born, and when the poster flashes bright as morning, the phantom of love moves among us at will. Phantom limb lost has got an angel. Kindness, kindness prevails. Kindness prevails. Ties and rails fall into line bearing kindness. And this is a world of terrible hardship everywhere. And I search for words to set you at ease. A kite is soaring still in my warring heart and my trembling knees. Bright as the day, all of the people gather to say, I believe love will always surround you.
This is a really cute one.
But if you are scared, if you are blue, prepare this small song for
That's so
you.
cute.
Sweet as a May, sweet as a May. Ooh, a May, sweet as a May.
That is so gorge.
Sweet as a May, as a May, sweet as a May, sweet as a May.
Yes. Pretty. That one was really cute actually. It actually felt a lot brighter than the other songs. You know, it didn't have such a melancholy sound. It felt like more of a love song to a friend or something, or a family member, about someone who is young and has a lot of like to give, a lot of future, a lot of light. They are someone that is very special to Joanna, I feel. I don't know. Let's see. Like, she literally says, and I do not know if you know just what you have done. You are the sweetest one I have ever laid my eyes upon. And it really feels like she's talking to someone she really adores. Nothing to do with this ex-lover or anything like that. It really feels like a genuine sweetness without any pain. She literally says, it's a beautiful town with the rain coming down. Blackberry, rosemary, Jimmy crack corn. You've got the run of the place now, and you're running around, and may kindness, kindness, kindness be abound. Oh, it's just so sweet. She's just like this little girl, like he's running around just as a sprightly, happy little thing. And she's just saying, may there be kindness all around you wherever you go. Because you share it, let it cast upon you as you cast it upon others, sort of thing. This bit is interesting to me. The phantom of love moves among us at will. each phantom limb lost has got an angel. To me, that feels like heartbreak and losing that kind of love being, say, embodied in like a human body. Imagining it losing an arm is like another bit of your heart breaking, but there's always an angel around, such as a loved one, whether it be your mum, your dad, your best friend, your sister, whatever. There's always someone around that all comes into your life that is there to fill the gap of where that limb was. That is a little angel to soften the world that can feel so dark after such painful experiences. That's what I get from it when I read it, and I think that's just so beautiful and understandable. It says here, though, in the context of the song, the narrator most likely felt like she had her lost love or baby with her for a second, and then remember she doesn't, leading to confusion. Oh, that makes sense too. She says, so confused like the wagging bobtail of a bulldog. Kindness prevails. Oh yeah, interesting. I see that too. I see that too for sure. But I do feel like there's something sweet with that. Every phantom limb lost has got an angel. I don't know. Maybe she's saying, I don't know. I don't know. It just seems sweeter. It seems a little bit more positive in a weird way. And this is a world of terrible hardship everywhere. And I search for words to set you at ease. But there in the looking glass, a kite is soaring, stilling my warring heart and my trembling knees. That's powerful. That's kind of powerful because it makes me feel like she's saying, the world really does have hardships everywhere. And I try and find the words to put you at ease, to, help you know that it doesn't have to be terrible, or to help brace yourself for that terribleness. But there in the looking glass, a kite is soaring, and it's like I could just see, almost like looking at the looking glass and seeing the future of this young girl. And a kite soaring, it's a girl just flying through with such elegance and just like freedom. And still was her, warring heart and trembling knees. Her anxiety became calm as she thought, no, this girl that she's talking about, this young child she's talking about, has got the magic to navigate life, and maybe bring happiness to it, and so on, when it can be so dark. I'm not sure, but there's something very beautiful to it. Like there's a calm within her because of the confidence she has in this child making the world a beautiful place, because I'm sure this child makes her life feel very beautiful. I'll click it, see what else if someone has said something about that. Looking glass is a somewhat an antiquated word for mirror, and in more modern context often implies a reflection that reveals a world that is different than one's own. The narrator in these two lines is likely referring to the experiences that remind her the world isn't as wholly harsh as that she previously conceived it to be. The imagery of the soaring kite is a light-hearted symbol of hope that is culturally tied to childhood experiences. Okay, that makes sense too. I'll say what I think. In her everyday life, she's seeing the world for the darkness it is, but looking at this child, she sees it's not so dark, because if a child like that can exist with such kindness and happiness and love, then there is a balance to it. There is beauty beyond the darkness. And then this person said its use signifies a change in the narrator's pessimistic perception of the world and her fear for the titular young child. Simple reminders of hope and beauty in this world change her perspective. Yes! Oh my gosh, what a wonderful moment for her as well. Just to be able to go, okay, it exists. It exists. Beauty exists. And softness and calmness and kindness, it exists. And she even says, I believe love will always surround you. Brave as a bear with a heart rare and true. But if you are scared, if you are blue, I have prepared this small song for you. And then she starts to say, sweet Esme. In that beautiful, sweet Esme, sweet Esme. The way that she did that, all like, oh my gosh, it was very Disney, and it was a very sweet song that a child would probably enjoy as well. It's so cute. Damn. Oh, absolutely lovely. And now, when I come to think of it, obviously I've got a Lana poster right here. Like, I just really feel like Lana must have listened to Joanna Newsom or something, because there is a lot of, like, inspiration from Joanna. I just can hear it. I can hear it, literally. It's crazy, actually. Loads of it is very similar. And even, like, Joanna's references to things, like Nothing Gold Can Stay. Lana also references Nothing Gold Can Stay. Yeah, and then obviously Esme, or whatever the song's called, sorry. It kind of reminded me of Sweet Carolina. Also reminds you of Cherry Blossom. Like, not just this song in particular, but loads of the songs, like talking about a child and so on like that. And then also talking to her sister about the baby blues and saying this is a song for you if you ever get sad. You can definitely tell she has some inspiration from Joanna Newsom. I'm sorry, I don't even know if there's a correlation between it, but I'm pretty sure there is. And it's beautiful. But anyway, let's do it. Next song is called Autumn.
Driven through by her own sword. Summer died last night. Alone, even
It's a sad one.
had a love for. Autumn is come to my hometown. Friendly voices, dead and gone, singing star of the country down. Even the ghosts help raise the bar here.
The strings.
Now to the massing that boats and barns in the cold west. Flew a waxwing who froze and died against my breast. And all the while rain like a weed in the tide. Swans endless down on the gossiping lawn, saying tisk, tisk, tisk. Time won't account for how I've aged. Time, lying Tom says that leaving keeps you young. No control. My heart over my mind. The hills, the rain clouds roll. Here, wait for sun
Wow.
to cast myself out over the water, riven like a wishbone cat.
Whoa.
I was my own mother's daughter. I lay
Feels like she's adventuring outwards.
and lay low. When I returned and I moved like a gurney. Halo and I laugh when you leisure seeking.
garden.
Cannot gain ground, cannot outrun. Ain't long. You can't always stick around. When the final count is done,
Wow, when that harp did that. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Once again, I've said it again, haven't I? Beautiful. It just is. It's so good. Oh, and the way that harp, it did like a big like tumbling down. I'll be here in my hometown. And it felt like, in my head, the way I saw it, this adventure, this almost adventuring feeling that I had said about earlier in the song, felt like all of that was getting pulled back in, like because she's in her hometown. She isn't going outward. She's back into the hometown. And then you got that ring, ring of the harp. And it was like this like tumbling, almost thunderous. And then like a weird like golden splash of colour with that harp in the lightest of white clouds. Very heavenly, of course. But it was, yeah, that was really cool. That was really cool for the imagery side of things. Driven through by her own sword, Summer died last night alone. Oh, that's so weird. It's saying like she died alone. Even the ghosts huddled up for warmth. Autumn has come to my hometown. I love that. What a beautiful way of painting it. I've written a poem about autumn before, and I literally said something similar to that about how, you know, something had died, like summer had died. It literally, I think it's probably a common thing to say when you're thinking of autumn, though. I wonder if I could find it. I mean, it might not be very interesting. I don't think it was very good. I think I just did it for Halloween, because I was doing this thing years ago before YouTube where I would do a makeup look every day of October for Halloween, and I'd write a poem to go with the makeup look. I've always been a bit like this. I'll see if I can find it. It's probably not very good, but let's have a look anyway. Okay, this is what I wrote. This is so funny. I remembered this. This was literally made in 2020, so a few years ago. Obviously, I'll get back to the song, but you might be interested in what I wrote just because it is kind of random how it kind of matches up. But it says here, I won't read the whole poem, don't worry. Today is the first day of October. The wind is howling. The summer's song is over. So I didn't say summer has died, but it's like, it's over. You know, the summer's song is over. The choir of autumn has found its calling in the Halloween sky. And I even said about ghosts, because obviously it's matching with Halloween. I say, whispers from the other side grow stronger as we get closer, coming in with the haunting tide of the 31st of October. Yeah, but I'm not going to read all of it because it's not even that great. But actually, at the end, I should say this. Oh my God, no, this is crazy. It literally says, October, you soothe the grief of the sunshine left behind. You fill us with the belief that nothing really dies. Oh, okay, so like, I actually did talk about dying, but I was saying nothing really dies. Nothing actually dies. Because it like, you know, October comes in with Halloween, and I love Halloween, so it kind of soothes the fact that summer's over, because I'm like, oh, well, at least I got Halloween to look forward to, and it kind of soothes that loss, and it's like, oh, nothing really dies because I'm still happy. Yeah. But I thought I'd say that because I was like, this is reminding me of something I wrote so long ago now. Well, 3 years is a long time. But yeah, anyway, back to Joanna, the actual lyrical genius, the poetic princess. I loved it when she said, all the while, rain like a weed in the tide, swans and lists, down on the gossiping lawn saying tisk, tisk, tisk. I can't even say that, saying tisk, tisk, tisk. You know, like you could just imagine in lawns being like, gossiping. Oh, we've seen this. I don't know, there's something about it. I don't even understand it fully. I just find it funny. Like the personification of it makes me laugh. And she says, and I have got no control over my heart, over my mind, over the hills the rain clouds roll. I'll winter here, wait for a sign. She's saying that she'll not just autumn there, but she'll winter there too. You know, she'll spend the winter and the autumn there. But I think there's something to it about how, like, people are still wanting to keep going. But she's saying, like, she kind of likes the winter and the autumn to, like, have some time to reflect and hibernate and recover and be alone and introverted for a little bit. I mean, that's the reason I love winter. I like that aloneness. And then once I'm over that, summer comes around and I'm very excited to get out and socialise. So, yeah. When I click on that line, though, someone has said, winter is a time for hibernation, a time where everything is still and quiet, where the world waits for spring to return. Here, she is indicating she will wait in this relationship. Winter, when used as a verb, means to wait in a particular place, and she has frequently referred to this relationship as a place and is waiting for a sign either of better times or a sign to finally leave. Oh, interesting. So it's still kind of about the relationship too, which doesn't surprise me, but like I said before, it's kind of hard to understand every lyric when you don't know the context of it all, and you don't want to assume the context. I like when she said, you'd hardly guess I was my mother's daughter, my own mother's daughter. I ain't naturally given to roam. And I lay low when I return and I move like a gurney whose wheels are squeaking alone here in my home, and I laugh when you speak of my pleasure seeking. So it's like she's saying her mother maybe is someone who likes to roam and travel and go places, but she's saying she doesn't do that. She likes to lay low. And when she does return, she moves like a gurney whose wheels are squeaking. Like she's a little bit rusty. So when she returns from her hibernation, you know, she's a little bit rusty and maybe socially and so on. She's a little bit shy. I mean, I can relate to that. I really can. And I laugh when you speak of my pleasure seeking. Like maybe she finds it funny because she really doesn't think about herself. She doesn't think she's a pleasure seeker. Maybe this guy is saying, oh, you're such a pleasure seeker. And in her head, she's like, it's kind of hilarious. Maybe she feels like he's projecting because she's like, no, I like to just be a homebody, really. I just like to stay at home. And also, if she's talking to her lover, she could be referring to the fact that, like, you know, like I said, the projecting, he's the pleasure seeker. He's the one that goes out and is greedy, like that king we talked about, the king who took the gold teeth. Like, he's the pleasure seeker. He's the greedy one. So that projection is interesting. And then, among the tall pines, along the ley lines, here where the loon keens, there where the moon leans, there where I know my violent love lays down, in a row of silent dove grey days. Here in a row of silent dove grey days. Wow. So she's like saying, like, here where the violent love lays down, so maybe where it's not so, you know, summer can bring about, I don't know if this is anything to do with it, but like summer can bring about parties and socializing and going out and stuff like that, which would give more opportunity for bad behavior. Whereas winter, like you are a bit more introvert, you are at home, you stay in a bit more. So maybe the violence isn't so awful, but then in other ways, of course, things like being together and alone together for a long time could cause way more violence. But maybe he isn't even there. Therefore, the violent love lays low because he's somewhere else. He's not even around her in this winter time, whether that be metaphorical or real winter. But it feels like winter when he's not around, I guess. Maybe she feels dormant. Maybe she feels like she is hibernating and staying safe away from his vicious tongue and violence, you know. And she says, in a row of silent dove grey days, here in a row of silent dove grey days. And like dove grey days, it's like saying like a love that is grey. It's plain. There's no fire to it. There's no, you know, water, like dark, like deep water to it. It's just like grey and mundane and dormant. Like I used that word just now, and that's pretty much the word of what I was trying to think about for this as well. Wherever I go, I am snowbound by thoughts of him whom I would son. Oh my gosh, like I am snowbound. Like, there is just so much snow and fog, like blizzards in my brain with all the thoughts of him. I love them all one by one, cannot gain ground, cannot outrun. Oof. And maybe she's saying I love them all about all the different lovers she may have had, but she can't outrun the memories and the feelings she's had for them. I don't know. But time marches along, you can't always stick around. But when the final count is done, I will be in my hometown. Interesting. Maybe she's saying, like, you know, maybe come back to me. If you want to come back to me and you've done all your misbehaving, I will be in my hometown. I ain't coming to you, though. But I don't know. It's a hard one. It really is a hard one. Let me know what you might think. I thought it was a very beautiful, beautiful song, though. Okay. We have 3 songs left, and it might take a little over 2 hours, this recording session. However, the actual video, I've decided I might have to do it in 2. I might do 2 videos because, I mean, it's going to be a very long video. I mean, some of you might be fine with that. I think I'm going to do it in 2 because I like to premiere videos. And I don't think anyone wants to attend a 3.5 hour long premiere. So, yeah. But anyway, that's from my own brain to think about. I don't need to be telling you in this video because what will it matter when the video is out in 2 parts? You have no choice at that point. All right, anyway, ribbon bows.
There is a spring not far from here. The water runs both sweet and clear.
Oh, that's nice.
And clear and cold could crack your bones with veins so cold.
Kind of reminds you of Kintsugi, Lana Del Rey.
Just stay waiting on the lagging rising sap. Till they come to my
Her vocal is so clear here as well. Sweet and clear.
What a beautiful day.
Ooh, that Spanishy sound.
Because you want your love, come and get your love. I only took it back because I thought you did. At the municipal pound, from that old hang dog, which I was bound, curled round the bottom. Well, come on, darling, I could use someone like you around. I ain't from this place, my same mistake. Like you, I certainly bite and choose what I can find. What a horrible fate. I feel me. For Pete's sake, what you have taught me you cannot erase. If it is not too late, all day has left me.
That cymbal just... Wow.
God, no, God, sweet praise in the eye of the dog. Blink once if God, twice if no God.
Interesting.
Ashamed of me, my fine nerve, carrying on. keeping it up till the early morn, lost and lorn among the maddening revelry. Honey, I can't pass.
I like the way she said that.
Particularly when I start to tip my glass and have a go at that old song singing on the bass about them city girls with their ribbon bows and their fancy sass. That puts with the night, makes a motion to claim me round the second verse. I reckon I felt worse and still held fast.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh Lord, at last, well I take my God to task. I take my daggone God to task.
Nice. I love that. That one really had like a flowing feeling. I feel like everything really like flowed together in a way that just, I don't know, it just felt so natural and right. The way it flowed together, every instrumental moment. And there's been so many moments like that on the album, but this one, it stood out for me in a way. But yeah, it says here, a song about a lonely woman with many problems, unable to express them to humans, goes and buys a dog whom she looks too much for answers. She looks too much for answers. She is able to appear merry, but really is dying of sadness. Yeah, that's what it sounded like, this little old dog, and she's asking and she's saying, you know, the whole like blink once for God, yes, or blink twice for God, no. Like she's literally asking, does God exist? Does he exist? Something like that. And like the dog would know that, like the dog would know all these things, and then she's realizing, okay, you're just a dog, you know, but I'm very lonely and I want answers. And it's so cute where she's saying about taking this sip from the tap, and like this dog like caught her eye, and she's saying like, cold around the bottom rung, doesn't nobody want you? Well, come on, darling, I could use someone like you around. But then in a weird way, some of it sounds like she is talking from the dog's perspective too. Like when it said, like when she says, I stood a wagging at the tap, just awaiting on the lagging rising sap. I held the cold tin ladle to my lip. At the shrine of the thousand arms, I lowered my eyes to sip. Like that, I don't know why, that reminds me of a dog, and it's like, you know, wagging your tail and waiting for the water to come out, you know? But then it could be her sipping and then looking down at the dog as she looks down. I don't know. But then she says, I am not like you, I ain't from this place, and I do reserve the right to repeat all my same mistakes. Like, in a way, you can think of a dog saying that, like, yeah, I will definitely repeat all my same mistakes. I don't learn very easily, but when I learn, but, you know, there'll be a few mistakes. It says, but then she says, and in the night, like you, I certainly bite and chew. So maybe she's actually just likening herself to the dog. But she also said, I'm not like you. What a horrible face I feel me make. For Pete's sake, what have you told me I cannot erase? Though I keep on saying, and I do believe it's not too late. Like, sorry, what is she? Who is she? She's gone mad. She's gone actually mad. Sorry. It's so mad. All day you're hassling me with trifles. Black nose of the dog as cold as a rifle. That's interesting. Indicating with a nudge, God, no God, God, no God. Sweet appraising eye of the dog, blink once if God. I'm gonna have to click that. The narrator sought the comfort and companionship of a dog, but her deep-seated unrest still can't be shaken. The dog's concerns, attention, food, etc. are trifles, while the narrator's concerns are more existential. A crisis of faith. God, no God, yeah. She begs for the dog's guidance, a sign for one who has lost faith to grasp onto. Yeah, well, kind of basically what I was saying anyway. But black nose of the dog as cold as a rifle, that bit interested me because it's like, cold as a rifle, feeling a rifle against your head is a bit of a scary feeling. But maybe she's saying like the dog's like wanting the attention from her. Maybe it's frustrating her as she's in this like deep thought of and asking the dog questions. Is God real? Is God real? And this dog's just trying to like nudge her for attention, and it feels like tense, like a rifle. It's making her feel like, oh, I just want to know the answers, and all you want from me is my attention. I don't know, there's something to it. It's quite hard to understand it all, really. But yeah, we get the idea. I'm not going to worry my little head about it, and I'm not going to try and tear up my brains to understand it. So, but it's super cute. I actually love it. Now we have Kingfisher.
Whose is the hand that I will hold? Whose is the name that I will call when I am called to meet thee?
That's interesting. Sounds like she's talking about what will happen after death.
Who did you love beneath the drifting ashes? It was too late. Didn't you hear me calling?
I could definitely see like an old tavern with this song.
Where did you crowd? Burning within, seen from without, and your cut was a serpent coiling for the sake of that pitiless name.
Wow.
For whom did you allay your shyness? In a day beneath the bending cypress.
Wow.
It was not on principle, sure. Your heart that you have got home. Not that all I can bear alone, but not that all delicious
That's so hard.
Tell me all about the love you left on the farm. He was a kind and hurried man with a
This really has that old medieval kind of feel.
but he loved me just like a little child, thrown to the ground by something down there, bitten by the bad air. Well, the clouds ticked, preparing for when the bombs hit. Formless and breakless, gravel loose, falling silent as cavils in the snow. La 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 la. Lay back and spit my jar out in the long arm of the law. You've seen it all. I can bear a lot, but not that all. I can bear a lot, but not that all. Just your flaw. Oh Lord, it happens without even trying when I sing alone from the shelter. And though you were only sparring, there's blood on the iron lace, the gloves. Time as it flashing passes.
Oh, that violin. Oh, the way it soars off into the distance.
We came by the boatload, immobilized, worshipping volcanoes, charting the loping sky. The earth let us bound in calcified and made as obstinate as obsidian, just mooning is more faithful. Shrinking cracks loud as thunder rolling. I swear you love me. Where have we let me go? Tell the truth. Do you consign your soul? I had a dream you came to me, said you shall not do harm. And with your knife you evicted my life from its little lighthouse on the seashore. I know that spreading in a circle like an animal, welling in my heart like a bird that the day we are born, we commence without dying. The shallow with the lion.
Wow, such a full song with many moments, and it had that super folky medieval sound. I wouldn't know what to call it. Like, am I using, maybe medieval's not the right word, but you know what I mean? It makes you think of like a medieval place, you know, with like taverns and kings and queens and their horses and forests and those dresses that they wear and little lutes, and you know what I mean? It gives me the images of that, and it's just, again, you know what I'm going to say? It's a beautiful song. Beautiful song about a kingfisher. Right, I'm going to the about section. I'm not going for every lyric. Anyway, a kingfisher is a small bird that symbolises peace and joy in many traditions. Ooh, okay. Written as a pastoral, Kingfisher features a narrator who is questioning her place in the world, questioning where she might find the peace she seeks. Twined together are images of peace, a pup in the constant barley, like a little child loves a little lamb, and images of destruction, and your gut was a serpent coiling. There's blood on the eye, unlace the glove. Yes. In addition to analysing the disparate concepts of peace and destruction, she discusses the things that come from their combination: obsidian, shrinking ash, us. It's on the very day of our birth that we commence with our dying. Yes, and that's what I got from it when I was reading it as well. Like, the day we're born, we are on the journey to death. We just are. But you don't have to look at it like that, you know. If you just stay present, maybe not. It's still true. That opposition, the balance of violence and love, is what the narrator seeks to suss out. Kingfisher, she implores at the end, lie with the lion. Yeah, so peace, lie with the lion, and the lion, yes, even though he's a predator, and the king of the jungle and terrifying, the lion also resembles strength. You know, in tarot cards, there's a lion and there's a woman feeding the lion, and it's usually to do with inner strength. I understand the violence and destruction, but it could also be like a peaceful calmness with inner strength too, and you know, determination and so on, pride. You know what I mean? Balance with destruction. Musically, it recalls medieval compositions. Yes, okay, both in its aesthetic and in its heavy use of polyphony. Yeah, okay, so it was medieval. I always feel like, is there a word for it, or did they just say medieval? Is it like, is that just the genre as well as the time? I don't know. The harpsichord that picks up the melody at the end drives the aesthetic home. In channeling that period, the title of the piece evokes, through pun, a Arthurian legend of the Fisher King, a man constantly on the verge of death, kept alive only by the Holy Grail. 2, there are images that evoke the destruction of Pompeii, used here. Oh, she said something about a volcano, didn't she? Used here, I think, to comment on people's misguided focus at the beginning of the song, as she stands beneath ashes that by the end will come to leave her bound and calcified. Do you know what? Calcified is such a funny word, because Fiona Apple used that word the other day, and I used it the other day, and I was like, oh, I pretty much learnt that word from Fiona, and now I'm hearing it again. It's weird how words, like, things work like that. I've probably read it a million times before that, but now it has prominent, like, meaning to me. It stands out more now that I know what it means. Will come to leave her bound and calcified, she wonders who she'll love. As the air bears down and destroys her food, she is standing speechless until it's too late for speech to make change. This song also brings up wanting to find love again, but being afraid of the terror, the same kind of hurt and pain she faced with her previous lover. Returning, which is in the line with the peaceful versus violent imagery she contrasts throughout this song. Oh, I'm excited to really look into the lyrics in my own time. Of course, I would love to do that for you, but I feel like it would probably drain me because I've been filming for 2 hours and 10 minutes now. And we still have one more song to go. Yeah. But anyway, I have been absolutely loving every moment of this album. But anyway, it is the last song. And I do want to say, just before it starts, so I feel like this is what I need to do, but I always forget. Please do like the video if you have been watching and enjoying. Please like it. Please subscribe if you enjoy what you see as well. Comment as well. I really do like reading your comments. Let me know things you want to say about the songs and so on like that. And if you would like to become a patron, please do, and you can watch this entirely uncut because I feel like I might have to cut this up a bit, obviously, for YouTube. If you don't mind that, then that's great, but obviously you can watch it on Patreon too. I thought I'd just say that before we get into the last song, so I always say it at the start, but then don't say it in the middle where it's probably the best time to say it, really, even if it is kind of annoying. Right, anyway, let's do it. Does Not Suffice. Let's go.
I will pack all my pretty dresses. I will box up my high-heeled shoes. Sparkling rings.
Yeah, I like that. Sparkling.
For every finger hide from view. Jacquard and cashmere.
This is interesting. It feels
cartouche and tweed,
more normal.
all silver shut, and everything that could remind you.
It does feel like an outro though. It feels like a goodbye. How easy I was not, and the first song was called Easy. And she was saying about how she is easy, and she's you know.
My gilded button, shapeless bales, wrap it all up in a tissue, and then I'll kiss you, sweet farewell.
It really does feel like a goodbye.
To our occasion. So like the evident, burn and twist and grimace against you on a barbed wire fence.
I'm gonna have to cut out so much of my singing. I'll keep some nice bits in, but there won't be very many, I don't think.
Gotten into some terrible trouble and rinsing game, or to say you hate to see me sad because of you.
Oh my god, that line.
Suffice to merely lie beside each other. Other do. I picture you rising.
I just can't believe anyone could hurt her. Like, how could they? I believe it, obviously, but I just mean I'm just in disbelief that someone could be so horrible. Oh my gosh, she's really tying it all back in.
And empty drawers, and every
is intense. Ooh, is it just going to roll on out like that? Like everything becoming unclear, distorted. I don't know, that has a significant feeling to me. Like that to me, that kind of rolling sound at the end of the album, kind of fogging up all the sound, is kind of like being like, this is the end of this story, this is the end of this chapter of my life, and the future is dark, I don't know what's to happen next, and that kind of clogging feels like the future. It's the unknown. Yeah, ending something, but life goes on, but she doesn't know what that bit is yet. I don't know, something about that was interesting. What a wonderful ending song, though. That was really cool for the end, I feel. Just the way she sang it, it felt like a closer. The notes she was choosing, the chords that were being played, very, it's time to say goodbye. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure that song actually goes, we've only just begun. I don't know where that it's time to say goodbye has come from. But oh well. I'm going to read the about section. But I do love it. I love that. Wait. Actually, I might go for lyrics on this one. It is the last song after all. I do kind of want to as well because there's so many bits in it that I was like, ooh, that's cool. So, I will pack up all my pretty dresses. I'll box up my high-heeled shoes. Number one, I can't even really imagine her wearing those sorts of things. Like, I can imagine her wearing dresses, but I can't imagine her in high-heeled shoes. Because I think the only way I can imagine her is this kind of like old-timey, like little forest fairy, like I was saying, and like her living very rurally and, you know, in like a cabin somewhere in the woods. I kind of see it like that. But yeah, no, of course, yeah. She isn't all just that, what I put in my mind. But anyway, a sparkling ring for every finger. When she said that, it reminded me of the nursery rhyme. There was a fair lady from Banbury Cross. Right, and it's like, with bells on her fingers and bells on her toes, she shall have music wherever she goes. Don't know why it reminded me of that, and I was thinking that's so funny because she loves singing and she loves music, she plays the harp, and with the rings on her fingers, I don't know, it just felt like she is the lady from Banbury Cross. I don't know, that's so random, but it's just how I saw it. But anyway, I'll put away and hide away from view. So she's literally saying she's going to hide all of the things that make her feel and look glamorous, I guess. Coats of boucle, jacquard and cashmere, cartouche and tweed, all silver shot, and everything that could remind you of how easy I was not. I love that so much because she talks about being easy in the song Easy, of course, and how she is easy. She's saying all these things will remind you of how not easy I am, if that makes sense, because these are all the things that you found to be difficult, or maybe I don't know, easy could also be a term in a way of like, if you use it in like a sexual way, being easy as someone that is, looked at as someone promiscuous, and she's hiding away all the things that could at all make him think about her being promiscuous, like high heels and nice dresses and jewelry and fancy things are very appealing, of course. So she's hiding them away so that he doesn't get on her back about, oh, why do you need to wear that when you go around to your friend's house? You shouldn't be wearing things like that out of my sight. He could have been controlling in that way. But there's so many other things, like, or it's just merely the fact that she's removing everything from this house so that he doesn't think of her when he looks at them. I don't know. I'm going to click it though. A call back to Easy, the first song on this album, in which he suggests that she will be an easy, uncomplicated lover. However, even by the end of the song, she had already revealed how easy she would, in fact, not be, with lines such as, "Who asked you to be loved by me?" Yes, of course, but I just feel like there's so much more to it. Like, he obviously didn't think she was easy at the end of it after her saying that she would be, but what does it, it's interesting that it ties into all these items of clothing she has and what that might mean. I don't know, but anyway. I'll tuck away my gilded buttons and bind my silks in shapeless bales, wrap it all upon in reams of tissue, and then I'll kiss you sweet farewell. She's just taking it all away. She's like, don't worry, I'm taking away all the things that will remind you of me, and I'll say goodbye, and I'll bring all the things that resemble who I am with me, because I'm not leaving myself behind with you. I am taking myself and my life elsewhere. You saw me rise to our occasion, and so deny the evidence. Caused me to burn and twist and grimace against you, like something caught on a barbed wire fence. Oh my gosh. You saw me rise to our occasion, and so deny the evidence. Like, you saw me do it, but you gaslit me, really. You know, I'm using that word, but it's true. You deny the truth of what the matter was. You caused me so much pain, burn and twist and feel anger, like something caught on a barbed wire fence. Yeah, like something that's stuck and trapped, and it's like you're trying to get away from it. Yeah, my gosh. And then this bit broke me when she says, it does not suffice for you to say I am a sweet girl, or to say you hate to see me sad because of you. You know, she's just literally saying it's not enough for you to say those things, because you don't ever show it. Actions speak louder than words. It does not suffice to merely lie beside each other, as those who love each other do. Hello? Hi, I'm doing a video. Okay. Love you too. It does not suffice to merely lie beside each other, as those who love each other do. Like, it's not enough just to lie next to each other and pretend to do what real lovers do. Like, real lovers lie beside each other and love every moment of it and feel home and comforted. But they are just playing out the act of people that feel that way. I picture you rising up in the morning, stretching out on your boundless bed, beating a clear path to the shower, scouring yourself red. It's like she's seeing him be kind of like a single man, you know what I mean? I see you rising up in the morning, stretching out on your boundless bed. There is no bounds on this bed. He's not bound to any woman. There's probably women can come and go from that bed. It's his bed alone. So yeah, beating a clear path to the shower. You can imagine him and it's like a mess basically, and he's beating his way to the shower and then scouring yourself red. Maybe she's like there smiling a little bit, maybe hoping that he'll be showering there and he'll have a lot of guilt and regret, and he's scouring himself red, maybe in a form of self-harm. That sounds awful, but you know what I mean? Maybe just like thinking he deserves it. There's a little bit of anger behind what she's feeling and seeing and hoping for him, even though she has said in many times that she hopes that he's okay and stuff like that. But yeah. And then the tap of hangers swaying in the closet. Unburdened hooks and empty drawers. And she talked about the hooks, didn't she? What song was it? One of the songs she talked about the hook and how she was used to the feeling of hanging by a hook, things hanging by a hook, and how it was risky. And now she's saying it's unburdened hooks. These hooks are left empty. There is no more risk or anything because I'm completely out your life. And the tap of hangers swaying in the closet, the emptiness of it. Hope that that sound gives him, a bit of pain or a little bit of loneliness. And everywhere I try to love you is yours again and only yours. But that's interesting as well. And everywhere I try to love you, it's all yours again without the burden of me. It's it's got a little bit of a feeling of, well, that's what you wanted. That's the way it's going to be. So, well, goodbye then. That's it. You can cry about it, basically. But in not such a cruel way, I guess. But I don't know. I mean, she has every right to be cruel if this man was quite horrible, All right, I'll just quickly read this. The song uses a melodic callback to In California, the last time that she physically separated herself from her lover, to back the careful inventory she takes as she, with finality, packs her things to move out. It's all finery, she describes, elaborate clothing, fabric and jewellery, as if to suggest an admission to being difficult to maintain. That's the other thing I was trying to say about her, maybe him looking at her as high maintenance. That's the other thing I wanted to say when I read the first verse. But that's okay. It's okay. It's been said here. And I would say so-called high maintenance. You know what I mean? Or maybe high maintenance in general. Who cares? Like, if you're high maintenance, you're high maintenance. If you like things, you like things. You know what I mean? I had another thought too that I'd almost forgotten about. Yeah, that's it. So you know the bit at the end where it all sounded like rolling sound, and I said it was like the future was uncertain. That's how it felt. Even though this song sounds like a finality of leaving this man, that kind of weird whirring sound of the future being dark leaves you kind of thinking, but is it truly over? Or is it just another one of those moments where you're like, it's over, it's the end, but we don't really know if that is set in stone. The record began with Easy, during which she promised him she'd be easily made happy if only he'd just let her care for him. In this song, she admits how easy I was not. It's an important admission to both parties. In Easy, she lied. Honey, please, you pleased me even in your sleep. But in her departure, she finally confesses that what this man, ready to settle down, has been able to give back does not suffice. There's no clean resolution. The man will deny the evidence of how she suffered. But it seems she's no longer angry, just final. I have gotten into some terrible trouble beneath your blank and rinsing gaze. She marvels softly. He's never wanted to share this life fully with her, no matter how hard she tried at every juncture to love, cajole and coerce it. She imagines he'll be happy having his boundless bed alone to himself. Everywhere I try to love you is yours again and only yours, she states grimly. The song ends with a description of the places she's vacated, unburdened hooks and empty drawers where she used to keep her things alongside his, and the wistful la 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 she sings from the drift further and further away, as if echoing an empty room as she leaves it behind. Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, I didn't even really think about that, but I totally see that now. Oh, wonderful. Wow, we've done it. We've done it. We've done Have One on Me by Joanna Newsom. And I have, in total, raw footage recorded for 4.5 hours. 4 hours and 33 minutes, maybe even longer than that, because it was already over 2 hours when I did. Nearly 5 hours. That's mental, but I enjoyed it all. Thank God. Can you imagine if it was an album that was this long and I was just like dying the whole time? Like, I was just like, okay, this is no, I'm very lucky. Thank you, Joanna. That there wasn't a bored moment. Every bit, might have been moments where I've been like not quite understanding the song and the music's not, filling in the gaps for me, but very rarely. Like, very rarely, and I would soon be taken over by a sound and I'd be like, oh, okay, no, actually that sounds really good. Like, the cute song about the little girl in her life that she loves. Like, at first there was a bit of that where I was like, okay, yeah, and then as it started going and I was reading it more, I was like, oh my God, I'm falling in love. Like, little things like that would happen, and there was one near the start that wasn't like, oh my God, amazing, but I might even like it on second listen. But no, it's just so good. Let me know what your favourite is. I still feel like my favourite song is California. I don't know what it was about California, but it really, really was so good. But then I got quite a few favourites now, because, oh my gosh. I actually really liked Kingfisher. That was interesting. Yeah, oh my God, there's so many. On a Good Day was so good as well. 81. Yeah, God, it's hard to... I think I'll know better once I've edited it all, because it's kind of hard to remember them all perfectly and which ones I loved, because obviously they carry similar themes and like sonically as well as lyrically. But that's great because it's just telling a big story. Very cool. And did this come out in 2010? That's mad. It just feels like it's so old. But it isn't. I need to have a little look at her. Joanna. I do know what she looks like, but I just need to look at her again. Oh, she is such a... it surprises me, like, when I see her with, like, makeup on and looking glamorous. Joanna Newsom and Andy Samberg welcome their first child. No one told me this. She's with Andy Samberg? I literally don't even picture her as like a celebrity in any shape or form. I know she is, I know, but when you listen to her music, it feels like you're listening to like an old fairy tale from a fairy. You know what I mean? It sounds like I don't understand. She's so cute. Andy Samberg? That's so random. Okay. And wait, they've had a child? That's so cute. Who was her ex then? Bill Callahan. Sorry, I'm just doing a bit of research now. If you've all gone already, then no worries. I just need to look into some stuff here, okay? I just want to know, is he the one who wasn't nice, or was there someone way before that? Okay. Who is she singing about in California? I'll just do that song because it's just easier to think about. Not entirely sure, if I'm honest. But either way, it seems like she's happy now, and that makes me happy too. Does she have music out, new music at all? Does she have new music? Or just 2010? Well, when did Ease come out, actually? I need to know, peeps. Let me know all the things. I would love to know. But anyway, I am actually going now. Yes, thank you so much. And please, again, like, comment, subscribe. Become a patron if you want to. Follow me on Instagram. And yes, I shall see you next time. Bye.